The Out There channel.
Please sub and share.
Searching for the truth. UFOs, aliens, greys and ufology. Real images, real stories, real videos, real cases, researched and investigated by professionals in the field and cutting-edge discoveries. Multiple witnesses, abduction accounts brought to you by Team The Out There channel. Good to be back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Action.
Merry Christmas. Yeah, unfortunately, it's the only way I can fund most of my channel. Other people might be able to live off super chats, but I can't. In fact, I'm going to have to find another $150 to fund for another year of the channel from my own pocket. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of struggle come Christmas, but we'll see. There's a few things to cover today, I guess, with the paranormal and Secureteam, usual noise and the ufology again, and yeah, I'm not sure who's joining us today. Well, it's not quite Happy New Year. In fact, the last few years haven't been that happy, have they? And the way the world's going, with the war situation and floods and heat waves, blame it on the climate. But I don't believe man can control climate, right? I think it's all a bit of a con. I think if you look back in time before humans were around, the climate was much hotter and obviously lots colder as well. I think it's sort of, Mother Nature chooses what she wants to do. And we haven't got enough data to predict when tornadoes are going to hit, let alone climate change, for Christ's sake. And we know there's been a lot of corruption in the climate change side of things, especially with big money, right? So it's a bit like most things nowadays. Who do we trust? We can't even trust scientists because they get bought off. And they can be wrong, even I could be wrong, and that's why I do corrections, I did predict there was going to be floods and heat waves with the COVID lockdown, because as soon as you take away the artificial clouds that we call contrails, with 17,000 planes flying every day, of course it's going to affect the heating of the sea, isn't it? And which is then going to trigger the butterfly effect and affect the whole world. But we're not allowed to talk about that sort of stuff. We're not allowed to have our own opinions. And if you are a degree holder in science and do a lot of reading and a lot of study on this sort of stuff, and realize that other scientists that sort of been suppressed University studies has been suppressed about they didn't actually get the same findings as what's been the current agenda and all this stuff, But yeah, as far as I remember, going back in my lifetime, there's been heat waves and there's been floods. It's just an ongoing thing. Climate is climate. The only thing man can control is pollution. And that needs to be addressed. And also chopping down forests, where we should have sort of some control over that, Again, it's all driven by greed in this world, and people trying to make a living, and people being exploited, of course. Hey John, how's it going? Yeah, we're not allowed to talk about all sorts of things because we get in trouble here. John knows what I'm like. I don't follow the mainstream narrative, or I have my own points of view and opinion. And I just don't like being told what not to say, And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there agree with my points of view. But yeah, can it be all down to CO2? I don't know. Wasn't there a lot of coal burning back in the old days of London? And maybe it was that polluted there that they couldn't even see down the street. And I remember it got so cold there that Thames froze over. I don't think that's happened in my lifetime. And of course, the Romans, they started growing. It was so hot once in UK that they could grow grapes and make wine. And they can't do that today. So climate's always changing. I just need to make some apologies. Some people were upset with what Gabba was saying on the side chat. I was a bit upset about it too. But you can't control what comes up people's mouths, can you? But the thing is, what's more offensive to Americans, basically Australia and New Zealand, we're sort of like a melting pot of different immigrants here. Like I originally was born in Scotland, right, but grew up in New Zealand, and Gabba has a family line of Greeks, he said, and they migrated to Australia, or their grandparents did, and he was called all sorts of names like I was. But you just get hard shell to it, right? We don't take words so seriously, if we did, we'd always be fighting each other. In fact, a lot of the words that are offensive to Americans, a lot of it here is treated as friendly. Like I talked about a word called POM, which is short for pomegranate. And that's what English used to get called in New Zealand, still are in New Zealand and Australia. And it can be used as an offensive word, or it can be used as a friendly word, like come have a beer with me, Pom. My parents are not offended by it, they're English, right? What can you say, really? Gabba was talking about himself being called a certain word, which I know is offensive to Americans. That's why I told him to cease. And he was talking about his big conker. All I can do is apologise for that. And, he should have known better. That's all I can say. But, yeah. I get really upset when people use the F word. It's okay, occasionally it slips out and I let it pass, but there are other words you can use, or just be more aware that when you're online, you're actually talking to everybody in the world. And it's good and bad in all races. Like I said, we're a big melting pot here of people, and we're not really anti-anybody. We're quite open in New Zealand, and Australia is known to be a bit racist, right? Because there's a lot of bad publicity and there's bad people, you know. What can you say? There's a lot of bad people in the world. Yeah, it's complicated, really, isn't it? This makes you wonder if there are alien races in the universe or multiverses. Will they also be with the same problems, or have they sort of grown past stereotyping people? You know. But anyway, just apologising for that, and hopefully I'll re-mention the rules when people jump on chat in future. So, but they should know my rules. I've made it clear for the last 7 years. Got to keep it PG here. No name calling or attacking people. Even if you're calling yourself that word, it's still not acceptable. But anyway, we better move on. And this is what we do, you know. We sort of have to acknowledge mistakes and move on, else we get trapped in a hole, a rabbit hole. Well, especially in ufology. John was stuck in a rabbit hole until I managed to pull him out. Hey, John. John was really stuck in the rabbit hole. Now he's gone too extreme. He's turned into a bit of a Mick West now. Yeah, I know. What have I done to John? I've broken him. He's probably the most skeptical person I know now, John. How's it going anyway, John? Is it cooling off down there in the desert of Arizona? It was called a rotten word for many years. Yeah, yeah, I know about that. The Brits used it to ask for a cigarette. Yeah, that's right. My dad used a lot of those words. He comes from the 1950s, though, you know. I don't see that as really a bad word, though. I think there's a lot worse words out there, you know. Yeah, so I think there've been new words invented, you know, how things change, how new words are popping out, and you think, what the hell are they talking about? There's a lot of words that generations say, and I just don't understand what they mean. Is it because I'm not keeping up with all the terminology changes? California, of course, can continue to burn itself to the ground. What are you talking about there? I've got to be careful what you're saying in the side chat. Here in the desert southwest we got our first monsoon. Imagine that. Maybe your rivers will actually start flowing. Yeah. Maybe the world changes every certain 1,000 years or 2,000 years. Who knows, you know? And that's what I'm saying. There's not enough data. We haven't been alive long enough on this planet to really know what's going on. But we can certainly control pollution. And I don't think the answer is trashing all the coal stations. I think that's just stupid. Fuel's got to be used for a long time yet, and I think it's a matter of finding the right balance, because you know, how are you going to run diesel tractors on huge batteries? I just can't see it happening. You have to use something like that for mining, right? I just can't see, unless there's a radical new technology change of so-called free energy, or Tesla, what Tesla was trying to implement, which he may have figured out, and it may have been suppressed in those notebooks that was stolen. Remember, he had everybody thought he had like 80 chests, but it turns out there was actually 150 chests of these notebooks. That's a lot of research. So was some of the answers to some of the stuff we're seeing now used by Black Ops. Some of his research carried on. The guy was certainly dabbling and inventing lots of different things. Everybody was saying, oh, he didn't invent AC, but he was one of many that were working on AC, and he figured it out and patented it first. And some German may have figured it out as roughly at the same time, but didn't get there to the patent office, so he lost out. So, several great minds can come up with the same thing and totally unrelated to each other. I don't think they stole information from each other in this case, because one was in Germany and the other one was in America. So, yeah. Tesla is an interesting story. And a lot of people have got some of the stuff he was working on wrong because they listened to all the wrong documentaries, I guess, or haven't done proper research into it, But certainly our world keeps spinning, right? So that's energy. So what's keeping the world spinning? You can't say it's... what do you call it? Rotational force. What's that called now? Slipped my mind anyway. There's got to be more going on than we understand still. And we're already seeing that the James Webb Telescope has been changing a few things and throwing a few things into the cogs, right? About the Big Bang and speed of light and all sorts of stuff. So, yeah. Is there a big shake-up coming in science? I think once we get out into space, it's going to happen. And we definitely will go to the moon again. Looks like it's planned. Maybe they're trying to launch that rocket that kept having problems. So they're not going to risk people's life until they got that sorted out properly. And all this talk about that they lost all the Apollo documentation, somehow I just don't think that's relevant. After all, we got SpaceX doing stuff that they could only dream of back in the 1960s and 70s. And we've also got NASA doing some new stuff. And we got some Virgin UK that's also got something really exciting going. So I think maybe technology is going to rapidly increase again. It was meant to be by 2020 there was meant to be like hotels in space, but I think we're not too far away from that really. I think once Virgin and SpaceX start really putting people into space, and then you got Amazon that's also trying to get into it, I think it's going to all change. And there will be space stations in space where people can pay lots of big money and it'll get cheaper and cheaper because of competition, and spend a few nights and a few weeks in space. Or on the moon even. So probably, first of all, they'll probably have a space station that you get climatized to, and they'll probably have like a 0G section in it, because it'll be a spinning wheel, right? And then they'll launch from there to the moon, and then from there it'll go to other planets probably. But will we be around, and will we be well enough to even go on a space flight? Probably not. So we're probably in the wrong time frame, really. All this talk about secret space program, right? Why would they be mucking around with all that old technology in that case? So there's obviously a lot of disinformation out there on ufology. Or it's one of the amazing cover-ups ever, and it's one that should be throwing people in jail over, or prison, because a lot of that would lead to better energy concepts where we wouldn't need fossil fuels, as they call it. But I have my doubts about fossil fuels, because I did an episode years ago talking about that the Earth actually makes it from internal, and it's not actually from dead dinosaurs. We know coal's ancient trees that have been fossilized, but oil is slightly different, and gas also, methane gas, because they've detected it on other planets. So that means either the bio life is on a lot of planets, or even moons, or someone's telling lies. So yeah, go and have a watch of my episode 4 on crude oil, if you've not watched it. You know, the thing is, some of it doesn't make sense. Like, they've had it's meant to be like sediment rock, you know, gradually builds up over time from floods and debris in the air from blowing in the wind, and space dust, which we know is 50 tons a year around the world. So I'm not sure how much layer that creates per year. Probably a millimeter, is it? So that means after millions of years, 100 million years, you got 100 million millimeters extra on top of the Earth. Yeah, 100 millimeters, what's that, 10 centimeters? So how many millions of years are we talking about? Maybe we have to talk about billions of years for sediment to gradually build up. So yeah, I just have my doubts. You know, sediment's made from dead plants and animals and all that sort of stuff. Recycle, you know, it's like the life cycle, you know. But yeah, let's just probably stop talking about all that sort of stuff, because it'll get me in trouble. Yes, so I have my doubts. You know, always question everything about science and what we're being told, because it may just be wrong. Until we get out in space and start exploring other planets and moons and asteroids and seeing what's inside them and all that sort of stuff, I think it's going to change some of our science quite a lot. Yeah, so maybe people stop wrecking the planet here and start mining some of those space rocks, which are just garbage, right? And maybe they can get gold and all the rare elements that you need. Well, humans tend to need for batteries and stuff. Yeah, so yes, so I better get on with the show. Is Gabba around? I did say that I was going live. Better catch up on side comments. I know you guys probably got a few things to say. I used to exclude and marginalise people as stupid, like try and pick a fist fight with the ocean. Yeah, but yeah, I think plastic is a problem though. I think maybe if we start off on small things, it'll gradually lead to a new way of thinking. But this going, you know, it's gone from plastic to paper bags now. And, you know, plastic straws are good plastic straws. And now they're trying to implement paper ones, which are just a load of rubbish. They're also trying to make pasta ones. You know, it's just crazy. Sometimes you just need... And then now we got all the face masks. That's a major problem now. All the face masks are littering everywhere because people just throw it out into the dump and it blows off and ends up in waterways and sea. So, yeah, and then now they're saying that the masks are not very effective at stopping viruses. And it was never intended to be, unless it's a N5 filter mask or something, which you don't throw away. So yeah. it's kind of depressing when you start putting it all together. But anyway, we do what we can do here, and we'll pull apart all the lies and try and back it up with facts, you know. Rabbit sucker was an insult in Shakespeare's time, was it? I don't know what it means. Rabbit sucks? Yeah, I never heard of it before. I'm not sure if a rabbit can even suck. They can nibble at food, but I don't know if they can suck. Imagine says, okay, yep, James Webb saying no big bang now. Some of the findings they got come back contradicts the Big Bang. Although it doesn't... It sort of contradicts the expansion that there was claimed and redshift and all that sort of stuff. Maybe the moon has a bouncer. Yeah, when you think about aliens though, why would they want to be on our moon mining it when they could simply go to any moon, any asteroid, and probably find just the same amount of stuff? You know, all those asteroids orbiting the sun would be full of helium-3. You know, this is how stupid it is talking about aliens being on the moon. If anything, they're going to be under it. You know. Yeah, it's amazing how stupid some of the people are that follow Secureteam and Third Phase and GUFON. They have no clue whatsoever. They're talking about a Mexican balloon, right? Which is 100% proven as a balloon. And then you got GUFON saying, well, I think it's 90% a balloon. But no, it's 100% balloon, you dickhead. And then someone mentions, oh, maybe these UFOs have colours to represent elements of nature like carbon, oxygen. What's a load of cobblers? Mexicans painted those, they designed those colour balloons and had them made up specially, ilama balloons, for their festivals. We could go over that if you want to. I've posted it on my Twitter, so I should probably recap it again. Now it's doing the cycles. But they're saying from a distance it looks like the gimbal tic-tac UFO, you know, the one that spins around, you know, because it's acting like a balloon, turning in a balloon, like a airship. What a load of nonsense. You think military pilots with forward-looking flare can't tell the difference between a balloon and a craft that's keeping pace with them or whatever? I just think it's nonsense. Mick West might be right, that it might be experimental craft giving off heat similar to a jet. He might be right. But a balloon, I don't think he's ever said it's a balloon or a blimp or anything. But now we got these big channels claiming they're getting lots of content. Trying to rehash old stuff that was debunked 2 years ago as a gimbal. It's just absolutely nonsense. We can't progress with noise in the system like this. We just can't. And when they keep saying they're true for ufology, they're far from it. If you're going to say it's a gimbal, then you back it up with facts, not just make a theory up which adds more noise in. You can see I'm frustrated. It makes me wonder if I'm wasting my time, really, you know. Or it could hold to fit the safest rocket delivery system. Yeah. So, if there is secret technology out there for the secret space program, the closest hint we've got is this research of these high altitude blimps that could go at Mach 5 or higher, according to some leaks from Lockheed Martin, remember? So they might be able to use those to get payload up to 100 kilometers, wasn't it? which is the edge of space, and then launch from there. But obviously it's still classified, right? And how those people can tell stories about it, that they researched it and had flying platform up there and all that sort of business. A flying station they called Dark Cloud or whatever. BBC One Player got quality documentary following its build over last 20 years. Yeah, I think I've got that on the hard drive here. No time to watch it though. I normally get a lot of documentaries to watch because that's a good source of information, and also them repeating the same agenda or narrative, right? BBC, History Channel, Documentary Channel, keep repeating things that they like the Big Bang being proven fact, but it's still just a theory. And they spent billions of dollars trying to prove it. Taxpayers' money too, I should say. Single-use plastic. Yeah, but there's no reason why you can't buy plastic straws that you can simply wash, you know. So maybe what they need is a straw cleaner. You know, maybe something you put in the dishwasher and you can put the straws in and it blows water through them. So that's how I think, you know, instead of people having the need to buy straws all the time, they could simply just reuse the ones they've got. Maybe it's just a matter of making them dishwasher proof, you know, the plastic. I suppose they could make them out of aluminium, right? But then again, that ends up in landfill as well, doesn't it? You know what I mean? It's one problem for another problem. It's just a matter of just changing people's habits of not being lazy, you know. When I used to clean the banks, never seen such lazy people. They would throw it in normal landfill when it should have been recycled. Now, plastic bottles and stuff like that. I got really angry with it. Because I would have to spend half an hour of my time, which I don't get paid for, because if I work overtime I don't get paid for it. So when I was cleaning the banks, which I had to because no one would hire me in the computer field, because I had a bad boss that lied about me. It's a long story, but if I told you some of the stuff that's happened to me in my life, you would be shocked. Shocked what I know and have experienced firsthand. Some stuff that I can't even repeat online. It's so disgusting what situations I've been in my life, especially when I went to live in Australia and I was alone. I didn't have no family support or anything over there. But I had a cousin that I stayed with who wasn't quite right in the head. And if I told you all about him, you would be very sick. But anyway, but I did actually bump into various people that I can't really say much about, which were also very sick people. And then they're walking amongst us. So yeah, when I see serial killers on TV, I can understand it. Or rapists and pedophiles and all that sort of stuff. I've been pretty close to all that sort of nonsense. And when I tell people about it, they don't believe me. But anyway, don't want to go down the dark side. But there's a lot of people, a lot of stuff that's happened that I try to forget about, and people don't know about me. I've talked about some of it in the past because it was a wee bit funny, because we had like neo-Nazis living over the back of us threatening to burn down our house, and we used to rent out the top of the house to homestays, right? And one night when my sister was staying with us, and she was up in the top flat because we weren't renting it out at the time with her kids. The Neos decided to have the loudest party ever and turned up the volume to about 3 a.m. in the morning, and Dad told him to turn it down because there's kids that need to get to sleep, and the guy was a complete arsehole and come out with his tatty t-shirt on with white power and all that sort of stuff. And he said, "This is the gang I belong to." And Dad said, "What, am I meant to be scared of that?" Then the guy was threatening to burn down the house, and Dad said, "Well, remember, yours can burn just as well." And he said, "Anyway, my gang's bigger than your gang, Mr. White Power." And the White Power guy, little flimsy, whimsy guy, says, "Well, who's your gang then?" And he said, "New Zealand Police." And 10 minutes after that, the stereo got turned down, and the next day Dad was in the garage sorting out all his bullets on purpose, and he was holding them up to the window looking at them, and we didn't even have a gun, but Dad had all these collection of bullets that he found while he was fishing, I guess, because people lose bullets, and Dad would just pick it up and put it in his pocket. We also had a few people in the family that used to have guns, relatives, and somehow he ended up with the bullets anyway. But anyway, this White Power guy saw him through the window looking at bullets, and we didn't have any more trouble after that. So, you know, when they're not such brave people anyway, just put it that way. But it was funny. It was really funny how Dad played the situation around. So, but we were always a wee bit worried that something might happen to the house. And years later, Dad got into beekeeping, and one day he found all his bees had been poisoned, you know, with a white powder. And he was pissed off, of course, and he knew exactly who did it, because the guy was complaining that his mum was allergic to bees, and it was landing on the washing. Now, bees, like everything, needs water, and they tend to land on the washing line and suck out the moisture, believe it or not. So Dad was a learning beekeeper at the time, so he had to pretty much burn that hive and start anew again, which someone gave him a swarm, and you know, every year they swarm and they divide with a new queen, and you put it into a new hive if you're quick enough, else they fly away, and then someone else has to go out and try and scrape them into a box. But that's what Dad does mostly now. Most of his hives have been destroyed by that Rivera mite, which someone brought into the country. You know how they have border control and border security? Well, we have a lot of Asians come here that just want to break the laws on bringing in fresh food. They bring in plants out of Chinese garden that's infected into our country. So you probably heard about the program called New Zealand Border Control and Australian Border Control. You probably could find them online and have a watch. But yeah, so apparently someone probably brought in some honey from China or somewhere that had the eggs of this mite, and they threw it through the leftover out in the bush, where bees, if they find honey lying around, they will steal that rather than go and suck out nectar out of leaves, right? And they take it back to the hive, and eventually the eggs hatch, and so we got COVID for bees. So yeah, so Dad's only got a few hives left now. They try and control the damage control now in New Zealand, because it's a $1 billion export, especially on Manuka honey, which is special. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff that you don't know about me in the life, but yeah, everybody's got their own life story, I guess, and we got our own shit that we've had to deal with in the past, and we got their own shit to deal with now, if it's health problems. So anyway, we should get on to this UFO subject. I see we had a few people drop off because they're not interested in what I have to say, but they might be more interested in my analysis and Secureteam stuff. And I know probably Steve Campion's probably kicked off his show on Mandela effect. Now, I've sort of covered the Mandela effect a few times in the past, and all I can say is, sure, it can be debunked, but there is a possibility that multiverses is real, and there's copies of Earth in these multiverses at different timelines. And some might actually be very close to your own timeline, where when you get one of these time slips, as they call it, is really like a portal that opens up and moves you from one universe into the other while you sleep or whatever. Some people are driving along and suddenly they're in some road that they have never been down before, and it's a unsealed road, and the cottages look like they're from 1900s or whatever. You hear about these stories in UK where they have these time slips and multiple people witness it, and whether they got together and made it a big story. It's a good fantasy story, time slips. But let's say maybe it's real, and that's how Bigfoot slip in and out, and UFO slip in and out, and also other humans like us are on other universes. Makes sense that our DNA is not unique just to this universe, but could be the same in one or more universes out there. So could you be swapped into another universe and not even know it? For sure, it's possible. The theory is there. Proving it is another thing. You heard about people that say they woke up and the people around them seemed different, like their mother, their father, their friends. Have they got a mental problem? Could be. But maybe there's something bigger happening there. So it's a theory. Unproven theory. It's a good fantasy story, right? You can make a lot of good sci-fis out of all that. But yeah, I can't rule it out. But could it be just advertising that modified some of the words or terminology from Forrest Gump or Star Wars or Star Trek? Yeah, sure, it could be, and that's what you remember, because you hear it on TV more often through TV ads, and you get subliminal programmed. Yes, it's very possible. I remember saying, "Beam me up, Scotty," right? And yet that was never ever said in any Star Trek episode. So they claim, and they said a similar word into it, but never that sequence of quote. Which I thought was really shocking to hear, and I don't know where we got it from. Whether it was on a TV ad, it's possible. Maybe this is my universe. Maybe that's why I'm a bit unique in the UFO field. I don't know. And maybe why aliens are visiting me. They're trying to get me back to my own universe. So yeah. So I actually did start looking through a lot more of my ghost videos. So we'll just start with that first. And sounds like the Outlander. Yeah, exactly. And there are stories like that. When she slips back through time. Well, it's not really time. This is the thing. I always keep telling people space-time's is wrong. But if you got different universes at different ages, right? When you pass into another another universe or end up on another Earth, it would feel like there's a time difference. So yeah, these people are claiming they use the time machines to come from the future, may actually be from a different Earth completely in a different time, and opened up a portal to our universe, which is in a lesser time. Yes, it's possible, but I think most of those time traveling stories are a load of bunk, and the people have a bit of mental problems, but because there's not been any solid proof, you know. If they had a machine that allows them to pass through the portal, then all they need to do is just reveal it, you know, just bring it to attention, have scientists there when you reveal it, and show how it works, you know. But anyway, as I said, I did look through some other videos. I did get touched on the leg one night, but I couldn't find anywhere in the video because I couldn't really wake up and look at the clock, so I couldn't memorize the time that I got disturbed. And I thought I could find it in the video again, but it was only like probably a few seconds, right? Like 10 seconds. And looking through 1 minute episodes, videos of the hour, and not knowing which hour it was very difficult. So maybe I need to make an effort of just getting up when I think something's happened and turning on the light, because that's going to show up on the video, hopefully, as a thumbnail, easy to find. Also, when I do that, I might be able to read what the time is on the clock, because I haven't got any clocks that sort of illuminate. I could put a phone in there, I guess, and leave it on charge, but then it might get played around with like it used to. Like I used to have one on charge here in the bedroom. It used to get turned on and stuff, and turned off, and yeah. Anyway, what ones have I got here? So yeah, I got this weird orb on one of them, which doesn't look like a dust particle. So let's see if it opens up. I'm not sure if I'm even snoring actually. Oh yeah, I can hear some sound. Okay, so I didn't see any dust fly off there, did you? If there was some dust there, why didn't it fly off? It looks pretty dust free, doesn't it? Yeah, that thing there seems to come miles up, doesn't it? Now, what was that bang noise I heard there? Was that me moving? I wasn't moving. As that come down, there was a bang noise. Did I miss it? Okay, let's just go back a bit. Alright, there's a little one coming down now. So where did that one come from? I just saw it now. See that one? Changed it. See how it changed direction? Now I can't rule out being a bug, but is that the one that's... What's that one that comes down here? Is that the same thing? You see, I make a sound there. I think it's me sucking in the air or something. But it doesn't sound like it, does it? Well, that one does. But that sounded like a bang and me then snoring. But what I found out is the audio on this camera can't be trusted. It's got some sort of filter happening. And it's the wheezy sound that I make sometimes when I snore actually sounds like my EMF meter, as I talked about. I've had debunked that already. Because I went over new footage and I heard the meter going off when I didn't have the meter in the room, and I thought, well, that's got to be some sort of audio artifact, because it's always at the end of a snore sound. If it happened like now where it's quiet, then I would have to say that was paranormal, but in this case it looks to me like it was an artifact. Let me just see if I can hear that again. So we get a thing that comes down, but then next time we see it, it's coming closer to the camera. See that one there? Let me just see if we can get that. That could be dust though. Yeah, it seems to change directions there, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever, does it? And then it went back on its normal course. That's really weird. So it could be paranormal, but we can't rule it out completely, can we? And that one there, boom! That's moving so fast, and what the hell was it? And then we get that bang noise. But it could be just me with a blocked nose. So yeah. It's just funny, it happened at the same time that thing come down, that's all. But anyway, I thought I'd just show you that one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a special EMF meter, which I'm going to modify. I'm not sure if I showed you it. AliExpress. It's a new meter that's come out this year. But they haven't got any input for power, which is kind of stupid. Let's see if I can get a picture of it. How do we spell the name? Express. I probably had it spelled right before. EMF 8 LEDs. I'm not sure if it'll come up. We'll see. This one here. So I've ordered this one. It's $20 New Zealand. I don't expect the build quality to be that good, but as you can see, it's got more ranges, and you can stick that near the TV or somewhere near a camera where it's videoing all the time, and see if it peaks up anytime, because we know it should always be around about there, background radiation, right? Unless it's near a router. But with inverse square law, it should go back down to the safe region of EMF. So that's what we're seeing blinking, is probably data being transmitted over Wi-Fi in the house from security cameras when it was peaking up and down here. So I ordered one of these. It's really cheap, and you just have to hunt around, because some people want to charge you a lot more for it. And it opens up with a 9-volt battery at the bottom there. So what you can do is you can get one of these PDF decoys to work with a PDF power source, programmable power, PD decoy. I'm not sure if it'll come up or not. Here's one of them. So you get ones that got different connectors on the back. I got one that's got screws that you can screw wires in. There's one of them there. I bought some of those earlier in the year. These ones here. I can get a big picture of it. And you get ones that connect into the PD power supply via a cable. And then you can tap off the negative and positive wires to a cable, which then can plug into the 9-volt connector. So you just have to get a 9-volt connector, which I've ordered, which won't come till the new year, unfortunately. So what you can do is there's little buttons on these that you press to tell it what voltage you want. It goes in steps of 5 volts, 9 volts, 12 volts, 15 volts and 20 volts. And obviously you have to put a meter on those ones, But you can get ones that actually got LED readout on them, which will always show you the current or the voltage, or alternate between it, like I've shown in past videos. So yeah, it's just a matter of understanding electronics and science, guys, and tying it all together. So yeah, you need obviously 9-volt connectors. We'll just go back. So you want, but you need to switch. Obviously, when you got to switch the positive and negative around, because when you clip one clip into the other, you're switching around the negative and positive. 9-volt connector. You know what they like. They're having these things. So this is my plan. So you just you can actually connect two together. So if you've got one inside the device, you can actually have this coming from a powered device and just connect it in. So that now I could run it direct all the time off wall current without having to worry about batteries running dry or whatever. As paranormal apparently is meant to suck it dry. So yeah, just a matter of all the parts coming and let the experiment begin. So yeah, I'm probably doing more than all those ghost hunting things that are making millions of dollars on TV. Okay, I expect people to be in and out, especially with other live shows going. But you can see that I'm more proactive in trying to capture real evidence and proving things, and also debunking things. Okay, so what we got here is the meter debunk. So that one was kind of weird, and we got a weird beep sound, which proves there's an audio artifact on the camera. Let me just bring that up. Not sure whereabouts it is now. Again, you have to put up with me snoring, probably. See, who needs Darth Vader? You know, you could just hire me. Luke, I'm your father. So you gotta laugh at yourself, though, ain't you? You know. Okay, I just saw orb move there. Okay, did you hear it then? I think it was then. Well, let's keep on listening. Always seems to be about the middle, doesn't it? So I am still breathing because I'm making a look like noise. Ah, there's the noise. Did you hear that? What the hell is that? See, I thought that would have been the meter, right? But there's no meters in there now. So what is that beep 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 sound? And how come it didn't do it the second time? So is that paranormal? Or is it an artifact in the audio? That one I'm not too sure on. Is it a bird outside in the loft? And why have I only found it once in a video? Because I have gone through quite a lot. So yeah, not sure about whether that's paranormal or audio artifact. I'm putting it down to audio artifact because it's at the end of a snore. But then, is it something to do with volume level? Because I did repeat that same sound. Almost sounds like internal alarm system detecting a loud noise, right? That's what it sounds like. Although we ain't got the alarm turned on the camera, it can actually beep when it detects sound or movement. I'm just wondering if that is not really muting it. It's actually turned it down to 0, but it's still making an internal noise. Perhaps that gets heard sometimes because it's on the same circuit board. So anyway, so I'm not totally shilling you guys like other channels would be. We're just looking at it and keeping down the middle road, and either going one way or the other that we think it might be. Here's the one where it sounds like an artifact after a snore as well. Somewhere, I'm not sure whereabouts. I'll just make sure it's maximum volume. I got Darth Vader for sure this time. I'll be back. Oh, that's the wrong one. Now I'm not snoring at all, so that's a bit strange, isn't it? I can still hear me breathing though. In the headset, that is. Okay, there's that noise. Did you hear that? It's always at an end. It sounded like the meter going on. And that's got to be an artifact. So it's the same noise that the meter would make when you hold down the button. Bzz, beep. But why? Is it, like I said, it could be something to do with maybe they're not actually disabled the sound, but actually muted it, and it's not completely silent. Because that is a loud noise. See, that's particularly loud snore, which would bring it above detection levels, right? But anyway, the meter sadly is debunked, and it's not so solid proof of paranormal after all. But we'll just keep on filming it and see what happens over the next coming years, I guess, and see what other goodies we can get. Now, 18-wheelers ref, I did actually stick through a meter. Hey, speaking of which, we're just about to do your thing. What I do is I'll open up, if you want to come on 18 wheels and talk about it, you can. I'll put up free for all. I'm not sure if Gab is around. I know he does stay up all night and sleep strange hours. You know how to get onto the free for all. In fact, anyone can join me if they want to, but again, just pay well to the rules of no swearing, especially the F or C word, and no using banned words, racist words, especially. Unfortunately, that has happened. But I'll just post a link here. In fact, I forgot to post up my episode information, so I'll do that now. So this is Live Chat with Paul 88. I started up this series after Robert had left as a co-host. So I renamed it and changed the music and all that sort of stuff. He said he was going to come on sometime and do a catch-up. But it's never happened, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I'm just not going to nag about it, you know. If people want to come on and talk about stuff that they're doing, you know, in research field, they can, but they just got to let me know. Or they can join now if they want to. They can jump on, and I can probably fit it in, you know. And I forgot to type up my web page here too, but we'll do that now. Here we go. So I tacked on the paranormal because I forgot about it. Okay, it looks like it's all working here. So this is going to cover Secureteam's new stuff. But anyone can jump on the side chat, as long as you don't take over the mic too much. You know, Gabba likes to talk, as you've seen, and he can get a bit loud at times. But yeah, he's always welcome, as long as he, you know, just watches the language. I don't think he's racist, though. I think how he explained that situation was that he was always called that certain word all his life because he's technically an immigrant to Australia. So, but it was always used in a friendly manner, you know. And but even so, that word is offensive outside his own spectrum. It sounds like you're driving again. How's it going, mate? It sounds like you're driving. So you're on the road. Okay. But it sounds like that echoey toilet sound that we get when you're on the road.
Hello? Is anybody here?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello? No, I know. I'm just playing. Sounds like I'm in a tunnel, right?
No, it's kind of got that do noise. It sounds like you're in a toilet that's sort of got a leaking problem. That's what it sounds like in the headset. I'm not sure on Google. I don't think I've played it back and listened carefully on the speaker, but in the headset it does sound like a toilet. But anyway, like a public toilet, you know, where they've got bad plumbing and it's dripping and it's always flushing the toilet. You know how it's sort of going. You know how you get a bad seal in the toilet and it's always going down the toilet. It's making that sort of sound. But anyway,
you're blowing my cover. I'm in my office.
In your office. Well, they used to complain. They used to monitor that at the place I worked in Australia. If you went too long to the toilet, but when you have like a really gut problem, and sometimes you just can't get rid of it. Number two, you do spend a wee bit longer in the toilet. There was a stage where they were monitoring how long you spend in the toilet, which is totally ridiculous because people never left on time. They always worked overtime or whatever anyway. But the bosses just got in Australia anal about it. And this was in Telstra Clear. It's called Telstra over there, but it's called Telstra Clear over here, I think. But yeah, wasn't a very nice, friendly company to work for, actually, a telephone company. But anyway, that's another one of my stories. Yeah, I could tell you all sorts of nasty things that went down there. But anyway, we're just going to play the enhancements I did off yours. Run it through I run it through Audacity and cleaned up the background noise, the hiss, and made a breath MP3 1 and an MP3 2. And now the one is noise unfiltered, I think. That's the original, so I'll just bring that up now.
Which one is this one?
This is where you, just before you hear something, say, that was not me.
Okay.
Okay, so it probably glitches to start with. Hang on, I'll just play that back again. So this is the unfiltered one, just amped up.
That inhale is not me.
So I didn't actually hear the breath in that one, but it's probably there. Okay, there was a psh type sound there. I'm not sure if it's related to the train that I hear in the background. We'll just go back on that one. See, there's a thing, but you can hear a train going over. You can hear a train going over tracks, but I'm not sure if it's related.
Right.
But it does sound like a breath. It sounds like an inhale.
Right. Yeah. So it's kind of like a.
Yeah, yeah. It comes up again here. Here it is here, the breath again. It comes up a second time. I don't think you realise it was 2 times.
Okay, that inhale is not me.
It didn't come up really well the second time. There it is there. That's the second time it happens.
Oh, wow.
That inhale is not me.
It's like it's got a delay when I play the audio here for this VLC. So we'll just play it from the beginning again. There should be 2 breaths I hear. There. It glitched. And there.
That inhale is not me.
Yep.
Just before you talked. So there's one up here with the train sound, which sounds exactly the same as the one before you talked, and you're saying it's not you. So I run that through noise reduction to get rid of that. Sounds like a river of background noise. And that's the difference that processing makes. You now, if we turn it up, now you can hear more of the train in the background. Actually, I'll just play that back again. Okay, there's a breath. All right, it's much clearer now. Yeah. And you can hear the train making clickety click sounds and rumble.
That inhale is not me.
In fact, there was a whisper. It wasn't just a breath in. Now we can hear, which sounds like some words being said, which you didn't hear on yours.
Really?
Yes.
No.
You can hear the breath in, and then some whispering type sound to it. Right. I'll just play it again. So that's the first breath. You can still hear the train rumbling and flipping. Okay, so there was a whisper of something, and then you come in and say that wasn't you, and you don't hear that on yours, not until.
Right. No, I didn't hear that at
That
all.
inhale is not me.
I'll see if I can get it again, because VLC is sort of caching it strangely.
That inhale is not me.
See, there was 2 words said. That sounds a bit like Ghost Adventures now, doesn't it? Can you hear those 2 words?
Yeah.
But we can't make it out what it said. So
That's weird.
But when we played the original one, you can't actually hear those 2 words, which is kind of strange. I'll just play the original one again, unfiltered, but it's still noisy.
That inhale is not me.
Okay, so you can barely hear the 2 words said, but it's right after the breath. If you listen carefully, you can just hear it.
That inhale is not me.
It's very hard to hear it, but it is there. It's behind the noise. Once you get rid of the extra noise, even though it's still noisy, it's only half as bad.
That inhale is not me.
So I can't make out what it said, but there's definitely 2 words after the breath. What's he doing?
Get him.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, so we need to.
That's weird.
Let's just narrow that down in Audacity a bit more for you, and just play those 2 words over and over again. See if we can make it out. Unfortunately, I have to. I don't know if I got it here in that pop-up. Hang on.
You know, the weird thing is after I recorded that, I went inside I shut the camera off. And I went into the garage to have a cigarette. And as soon as I opened up the door, I heard two more of those.
Right.
Like whatever it was in the garage. And I wish I recorded it. Yeah.
Alright, so we got the new version. That's good. Now let's just load it in.
Dude. Sorry.
Audacity.
Going like 20 miles an hour.
So 18 Will's breath. Okay, we want to bring in the second one because that's the one where we actually hear the words.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Hey, Phil. Is it? No, Paul. Phil and Paul. Welcome to the team. And welcome to the channel. So, yeah, we got just before you talk at the end here. So now we got the waveform, and we just have to find it. Why is it not playing it? They should play it. Oh, right, I'm pushing the wrong buttons because I rearranged it, haven't I? So it's right there. Two words at the very end, just before you talk. It's turned into Ghost Adventures now, but yeah, anyway, we just need to find where the breath is.
Sorry, Paul, I'll be right back. I got a phone call.
Okay, no problem.
Sorry, Paul, I will be right back. I have a phone call.
Yeah, I heard. That's all right. Take your time. We're just trying to narrow it down here. Chit. I'm just trying to look at
Paul,
what.
I will.
Yeah. You have to go?
I will.
Okay, you're back again, yeah. Okay, so we want to copy those two words. Copies there now. Yeah, so we just close that and then paste new. Okay, this should be the breath and the two words. I'm not sure if it's loud enough. Let's see. I'll just amp it up a wee bit. What channel is it coming on though? That's a good question. How can I look and play at the same time? Oh right, I forgot to move it over to the right screen. I'm looking on screen 1 and you're not seeing what I'm doing because I haven't got it on the proper screen. Okay, maybe I can see what level it's coming through. I wish I could. Yeah, I think it's on this one. Okay, I'll just bring that up. It's definitely a whisper, isn't it? Chit-cha, chit-cha. Yeah, it's a bit of shame. What could it be saying? I don't think it's you talking because it was really low down just after the breath. So what else can we do with it? It's a good question. We could slow it down, I guess, and maybe it's sped up. We might do that. How do we zoom in on this one? Let's see, they've changed it around. Zoom in. You zoom in. We should better break it down more once we... Okay, so that should be the breath at the very end, and there's the two words. We can actually now see it in waveform, alright? There's the two words there. Get him. I don't know. So what can we do with that? I don't know. But anyway, Control A, play it all again. It's really strange, isn't it? So we can do pitch change, tempo change. We can turn it into a Mr. Ken Tyler. So let's drop it down. Let's see what happens. Has it got a preview? Yeah, let's see what that sounds like. Whoop, and we've lost 18 wells. Okay, let's apply that, see what it sounds like. We can always unapply it too. It's definitely different. We'll maybe slow it down even more. I mean, pitch it down a wee bit more. B. Probably too much now. Okay, A. That sounded like speech, didn't it? Let's apply that. Let's have a look. That definitely sounds like it's a person talking. I wonder what it's saying. I have to see what these guys think down the side. So what are you thinking? Oh, he's got a phone call, that's alright. That first one, is it get? Get, maybe? Now let's try slowing it down now. But it did actually sound like a person now. Looks like I screwed it up there. Getcha, getcha. Going to getcha. That's what it sounds like to me, getcha. Oh, the Astro train's going to get you, mate. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Let's slow it down anyway. Play backwards, you reckon? It sounds like getcha though, doesn't it? We can do that as well, but we'll slow it down. Change tempo. Let's slow it down a wee bit. It might be a bit slow, but let's see. Makes it longer, it stretches the wave. Now, 18 wheels didn't hear that. This is why sometimes it's better to give it to someone that has some technical science background like myself to be able to do some audio engineering on it. I am self-learned though. Yeah, so he should really make a new video up. He can use my waveforms. I've uploaded them on Discord, but I probably should save that one, export it, and you go export, and you can export it as a wave, which is best because then you don't lose quality, because MP3 is compression. But if you save it as an MP3 320, it's not going to lose much at all. Let's see what happens. So it comes up, asks us what I want to save it as, and we'll call this breath 3. Although it looks like I cut off some of the breath, which we didn't really need, because we were really focused on what was that other sound. I don't think it sounds like a train noise, because because it sounds like if it was a train noise of a clickety click. It sounds like two different words, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but yeah, I'll just save that so 18 Wills can use it in a video if he wants to. You're back again?
Back, you hear me?
Yep. So I've slowed it down and lowered the pitch, and it sounds like a person talking to you, and it sounds like get ya. We're going to get ya.
What?
So yeah, it sounds like they're going to get ya. That's what it sounds like to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but we'll play it. We slowed it down there. So we need to get rid of that bit there, because that's not needed. And we'll shorten it down again. Let's just play that one. It sounds like get ya. We're gonna get you. The alien astro train's gonna get you, mate. Anyway, okay, we'll just save that one again. MP3. I forgot to check what format it was on. I'll upload what I'm doing here anyway, so you can use it in a video if you want to, and ask people what they hear on your own live show, or on your own channel, I mean. So at the moment it's on the wrong setting, so we need to change that. So we'll just go over the top of that one and choose the highest quality, insane, and we'll save it as that. That way it doesn't lose any quality what I'm doing here.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, but it does sound like get you. Someone wants me to play it backwards, but we'll do that in a minute. Get you. We're gonna get ya. Alright, so let's
I'd like to see him try. When I heard that in the garage, it didn't sound too tall.
Yeah. Yeah, but as you know, many can outweigh the one. So if you have a gang of people gang up on you, you're pretty much screwed, right?
Yeah, but I think that's weird though, how I could hear the noise, but I couldn't see anybody.
Well, I was a bit shocked to hear the voices there. I wasn't expecting anything really, but yeah, I could hear the two breaths. As you can hear better in the headset, of course. And they're on my Discord anyway, people. Anyone can join our Discord and get access to these things. I'll upload these extra ones to 18 Will's thread on our group, and you can grab them too if you want to. So where's reverse? Let's see, there's a reverse here somewhere. We've got repeat. That would actually probably be useful. Let's do repeat 4 times. Let's try that. So we can hear it over and over again. Let's see. So that's 4 times. Okay, let's try saving that 4 times. Gonna get you. I wonder if it remembers my settings. Probably not. It's probably another preference somewhere, probably. There probably might be more we can do with it. Maybe slow it down more and get rid of that type noise. There might be a way to get rid of that as well. 320, yeah, I kept the saying. So that's 4 repeats.
Yeah, I'm surprised that camera picked that up, the sound.
Yeah, that's the thing with EVPs though. Like I was debunking my beep EMF meter noise, that it might be an artifact that happens at the end of a snore, because I haven't heard it happen outside a snore. But it's a really strange artifact. You know, there's one there that goes chirp chirp or something. It sounds like birds, but it sounds like it's really in the room, which it can't be, because the eaves of the house where the bird's nest is on the other side of the bedroom, not near where the camera is, so it doesn't make any sense why it would be so loud there. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So yeah, I was trying to find reverse. I think it's here somewhere. Reverse, here we go. Let's play it backwards. See, it doesn't sound like 2 words again. It sounds like 2 words, but it doesn't sound like... sounds even worse. So what do you think it's saying now then, if it's in backwards? I don't think reverse makes much sound, but we'll save it, and we'll probably leave it at that for today and move on.
I'd have to wear my headset.
Yeah.
On this little earpiece I have, the sound isn't that good.
Yeah.
So that's kind of creepy, though, honestly, with hearing the breathing, like it sounded like a breathing apparatus. And then all of a sudden you heard a place in there.
Yeah.
That's really trippy.
Yeah. But yeah, it's funny how until you remove a lot of that background noise, you can actually hear the whisper after the inhale. But anyway, it is creepy.
So what do you think it is?
Well, does sound like it's actually a EVP, like a voice out of nowhere. And it does sound like it was the exact how of before they talked. Like the, how I'd breathe in, hello, or what's it? It sounds like this. Get him, get ya, gonna get ya.
I wonder if it was like
get ya. Yeah.
I wonder if it was like a ghostly entity or if it was like some sort of other entity. Yeah.
Don't know. Unless you can keep trying to capture evidence, you won't really know.
Yeah, I'm gonna try now because, like today, I was going upstairs to go to bed, and suddenly I heard somebody walking upstairs, like I heard footsteps upstairs.
Yeah.
So I instantly turned on my camera. I started walking upstairs. I have to review that footage, but as soon as I got up to the top of the stairs, it stopped moving, whatever it was.
So 18 Wells has got under the UFO general section his own thread, which is like a subcategory. Now I'll just show you how to get access to it. So go down, because I see all the rooms. People don't have access to all the rooms. So you go down to here, general. Now if it doesn't show up here, you click up here on the taskbar, and it shows you all the threads that's under UFO general, and we got one for GABA. So if we click on that, now it brings up the GABA one, right? So if we go back to the top of the room again and click on that one, what else we got there? Thread for 18 Wells and one for Earl Grey. Okay, so yeah, that's how you bring them back up, and then you can post in it. You can see after I clicked away without posting anything, it disappeared again for GABA. So if we go back there and say GABA, and say hi or something, that will stay open for another week. What happens is it sort of removes it. I don't know, it's a Discord thing, and they were trying to sell you Nitro, whatever they call it, like a membership upgrade to be able to give more options here to keep it open all the time. It's kind of stupid, I know, but yeah. So we got 18 Wells here, and there's the two breath ones, and I can then now upload the other two to that.
Yeah, since it's becoming winter now, I'm going to start, I'm going to break out the other camera and start doing ghost hunting stuff. Because it's getting ridiculous on my place. You know, I started a live show like, what was it, last year, almost 2 years now. And it abruptly stopped because my wife doesn't like that stuff and she doesn't want any more things, you know, happening if I call this stuff out. But lately it's been, you know, increasing and,
yeah.
you know, the phenomena has been increasing and stuff like that. So I want to try to capture it on camera.
And there's the latest ones here, and you can play them once they're processed. Oh.
What I need to do is I need to buy one of those thermal cams. I think that'd be a good investment.
Where's the top of the thing disappeared to? Looks like I bumped it. Well, that's kind of lame. Is there a way to grab the bar when you've knocked it off the screen? It doesn't look like it. That's kind of crazy. I want to move it. I managed to grab something then before. Oh, there we go. Oh, I thought we were going to have a problem, Houston. I'll just put it back on the other screen.
Going down, Houston.
So you got access to that in your room now, what we just worked on there. If you want to use it in a video, it's up to you. But yeah, it's quite, sort of adds a lot more to your original. But anyway, moving on.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that was a Halloween joke. I'm like, no, it wasn't a joke.
Yeah. So we got. Did I finish all the paranormal? I think I did. Did mine. And 18 wells, yeah. So I will.
So like, if I ever do jokes on my channel, it'll be like on April Fool's Day. But that's it. I don't joke around with this stuff at all.
No, we take it pretty seriously, unless we're sort of laughing about it or whatever, like the demon that sort of popped out of nowhere when we sort of started analysing it. But anyway, let's bring up what Secureteam put out, and we'll go over it. I just want to recap on the Gabba nonsense with the balloons as well. I might just bring up what I posted here.
Did you do third phase? I know you talked about third phase the other day.
Yeah, I just got another copyright strike from them where I analysed theirs, and they were using copyright music in the background music, and there's no way for me to remove that music, right? It makes it so. I ended up having to mute out 1 minute off that episode 67, I think it is, where Gabba was talking about his latest plasma orb, you know, where the one that was making, that showed up above his garage or whatever, and was sparking like a plasma ball, and then it started moving away from him. That episode, let's see.
Well, that episode, they showed at the very end, you were talking about this canister that was up in the sky, and you were dismissing it. You were saying, "Oh, that's nothing," or whatever. Yeah. I wouldn't dismiss that. I wouldn't dismiss it at all. With that one,
you mean the hot air balloon? The hot air balloon one?
Yeah, it's not a hot air balloon. I have my own experience with one of those. I had my own experience with one of those things, and that's the same size and shape as the thing I saw.
But we could see the basket underneath, so I'm pretty sure it is a hot air balloon. I just couldn't find the bunk for it. But yeah, it was in Switzerland.
Put that after this.
Yeah, they're just recycling stuff. Yeah.
Well, that's a real thing. Because there was also one in Pennsylvania and another one.
What is the
in
real
Ohio or
thing?
something like that.
What's the real thing? Are you saying it's like a square, floating square? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, it's like a flying droid. My own experience, just about 2 years ago, the day before I got my dash cam in the mail, I witnessed one of those things, and it had a face on it. The face looked like Einstein, and on the back of it, it had like a mechanical arm with a claw on it. And the thing flew right in front of me from my right to left.
Well, I don't know what you saw, but the third phase one may look similar to what you saw, but that was definitely a hot air balloon. But that's the problem with ufology, right?
I know, but just hear me out on it, man.
What's it not
Just
coming
hear me
up?
out on it.
Let's see.
Like I said, put that one off to the side, because I've never seen a hot air balloon that looked like that.
I'll see if I can find it again. But you see them launching the one they've got in the video. But
the one that was recorded in what the heck was it? I think Pennsylvania. It looked just like that one, the one that they just showed, and the one in Pennsylvania had a female face on it. I'll send you a picture of it.
Right.
But yeah, it's
yeah. Okay.
It's something goofy, man.
So this is the one that I got a copyright strike on, the one we did with Gabber and his plasma orb, right, which made this regular pattern around the outside, which didn't match normal orbs with random noise around it, and it kind of matched what his description of it was. So that one was unusual. But yeah, we did a quick debunk of some of the third phase stuff after that episode, and it had this like oriental ding ding type music they were using for background by Epic Media or whatever it's called, music. And instead of trying to fight it under fair use,
that's so stupid. Why?
Yeah.
Why do they do that when they say, "Hey, share stuff out"? This and that. They say it all the time.
Yeah.
So what's their deal?
I don't know. They do
license
music, so I wouldn't debunk them.
Well, see, the thing is, I didn't strike them when they used my video without asking me. You know, it's just being adult. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But anyway,
don't sit there and say, "Oh, you can do this and that," and then renege on it. That's
we'll see if we can find that bottle, hot air balloon, which is green, being launched. So yeah, they put up this video which Scott Brando debunked in January 2021, and they've only just put it out on their video. People may have seen it. And GUFON's talking about it because he uses their thing. But this one here,
the only reason why they talk about it is because they know about my side. It's the only reason why they show it.
I tried to pause it with a space bar, not thinking it's on Twitter.
Because
so you can see
the whole story behind it is the reason why they talk about it is because, like I say, when I had my initial sighting in one of those things, everybody thought I was nuts because I was talking about it on a live show. They're like, "Oh, this guy, he's got a bunch of stories." Well, here a couple weeks later, somebody sent in one of those videos to Third Phase, and Third Phase happened to be watching my live stream when I was talking about it. And then all of a sudden, somebody sent one in to Third Phase, and they're like, "Whoa, wait a minute here." You know, so then they posted it, and then people started talking on my channel. They're like, "Wow, I guess you are right." I'm like, "I know what I saw. You know, when you see it in front of your face, you know what it is, but you don't know what it is. But you know you saw it."
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, a couple weeks later, then somebody else posted another one online. And it looked identical to the one that Third Phase posted. So then this one showed up. I don't know. I wish I knew where this one was. I really do, because it'd be really interesting to find out. But the thing is, with the last one Third Phase posted, is the same color as the one I saw. It was like almost like a charcoal grayish. It kind of looked a little green, but.
Could you have seen a hot air balloon by any chance?
No, it wasn't. No, it was the size of a car, like sitting, standing up on its rear bumper. That's about how big it was. And then, like I said,
why couldn't it be someone in a hot air balloon that's sort of tethered to the ground?
Well, because when it went behind the building, the thing disappeared.
All right. Okay.
Like a hot air balloon just doesn't disappear out of thin air.
Mm. Well, this one they're claiming could be what the pilots are seeing as a tic-tac, right? So they're claiming that the gimbal video, it kind of looks like the tic-tac, right? Which is complete nonsense. Complete nonsense, because we know it's 100% balloon, because if we scroll down, he's actually got a video here that he made, which I've played before, showing all these different coloured Mexican balloons with the different colours for the festival of Globo ilama, as they call it, which I'm not sure what it means, but anyway, he's made a video here.
Like a llama or something.
Yeah, it could be. This flying object filmed by some residents from Mandela, is it? Yeah.
Mandela?
Yeah, I didn't quite catch it in time. But here's one of these. These claims that GUFON and thirdphase are claiming is the gimbal tic-tac, because it's got a similar shape, which it's kind of nonsense. It's really, if anything, it's more shaped like that Calvine one in UK. Remember?
It looks like a Mexican party balloon.
That's what it is.
Is it?
Yeah, hot air balloons. Yeah. This is called Globo. Was the Globo ilama, or whatever that means. Someone down the side chat might know. Many of these Globo ilama show a diamond shape like a alleged UFO filmed. I wish you wouldn't put music in it though.
Isn't that like the yellow one you showed last time? Yeah, like that.
Yeah, there's all sorts of of designs, and sizes, of course. And of course, they've got helium ones that can go up to 30,000 feet quite easily. Okay, so this one's a hot air balloon one, not a helium one.
Yeah. And they have like anywhere between couch cushion size balloons like that to the hot air balloon size. They have all sorts of different sizes.
For the festival, yeah.
That is because we adopted my daughter and she's Hispanic.
All right.
So I try to teach her in on her roots, and stuff like that.
Okay, so the witnesses from Mandela, probably munted the same saying of it. Commented the tweet by Jamie Misson, or Jamie Misson. I keep forgetting about the J's. And we have a couple of videos showing. So yeah.
How can they say they want to get pro legit when they keep getting videos from that guy?
Yeah, I don't know.
In one sentence they'll say, "Oh yeah, he's a known he's known hoaxer, this and that." And then in the other sentence they'll say, "Oh hey, we got a great video from Ivy." It's like, what are you talking about?
So here's two views of this particular balloon from underneath. You can see it's got a hole there. They obviously got some sort of hot air candle, well, oil system that burns for quite a long time because it's a fairly large balloon. That probably could keep going up and up and up pretty high altitude where planes are going to be, and just carry in the wind, right? Until the oil runs out and then it comes back down, crashes into the sea, or kills a shark or a dolphin or whatever. Anyway, just keep on playing that. But I'm pretty sure there's helium ones too. I've seen them online too, where you can just get smaller versions. And you can see it's flying over Mexico there. And you can't quite see the colours in that video. It's obviously done by a smartphone. Yeah, but so what the third phase is now claiming that looks like.
For sure.
They're saying it's a balloon. Could that be what the pilots are mistaken? Well, I kind of remember they were chasing the object, right? So if they were running at Mach 5 or higher, they would simply catch up to that balloon with a matter of seconds, right? Or half a second. So yeah. No, it's not a balloon. We know it's 100% a balloon. Don't have GUFON telling us that he thinks it's 90% a balloon, but UFO, it could be a UFO. Which is totally nonsense. That's just disinformation being added into the ufology.
Is he a balloon expert?
He's meant to be, so he should know about Scott showing that video back in 2021. And here's some other ones, bigger ones, more colourful ones, and he's got some more on his page, but I just reposted some. That's all. Yeah, he did actually. I did actually. I posted the thing with his comment on this show here somewhere. Let me just see if I can find it. There. This one here. GUFON and third phase of the moon are claiming a ilama festive colour balloon is the gimbal Tic Tac now, and the colours represent elements oxygen, carbon, etc. So sad. Why do people bother with fraud disinformation channels? Just maybe it's a UFO, not a balloon BS. Okay, and you can see it's the same video. Yeah, and I got a little video clip of him actually talking about it. We'll just play that.
Hear me
He's trying to lose all credibility.
What
He's doing a
if
real good job.
that's what UFOs look like?
Is that loud enough? So what if that's what UFOs look like? Well, there's been no evidence of colourful UFOs skins like that. There has been with lights, you know, like Christmas lights, but as far as I know, there hasn't been anyone claiming that the skins of UFOs are not silver, you know, or a bright orb sort of thing, right? No one's actually got HD quality of a UFO like this. If they did, we'd be happy over the moon, wouldn't we? But yeah, we're still yet to try and get this type of quality of this balloon capture.
Hear me out.
Well, I tell you what.
What
the ones
if
I've seen follow
that's
a certain
what you...
pattern.
Hang on.
They're either metallic, you know, they're either metallic, the dark charcoal gray, orange orbs, or
that's
or
right.
you can't see them. And
Yeah.
then that triangle one was brown. I've never seen a black triangle. I think if people are seeing black triangles, they're probably ours.
Yeah.
This, like all our stealth craft is all black.
That's right. But that's probably old technology now. That's like, you know, they revealed that after 20 years of research, and they're working on the next generation, right? That probably is transparent, you know. But anyway, just have a listen to
By the way,
GUFON.
speaking of that,
Yeah.
you're gonna.
Yeah, let's just listen to GUFON and then you can talk again.
Hear me out. What if that's what UFOs look like?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Hang on, he's going to talk again.
What if that's what they look like? We don't understand the colors, maybe. You know, we don't understand it. You know? Maybe UFOs can look like that. Let's not dismiss every balloon as a balloon. Now we can't. We can't do it anymore. Yeah, we can. Of course we're going to do it. But we can't. So this is very fun. This field we're in. This is amazing. If that's a balloon. It probably is.
Hey, look, he hasn't done
Amazing
any
is that people still donate to him.
Yeah, he's done zero research, you know. I knew that this has been debunked because I got a fairly good memory of past videos and things I've looked at. And I knew Scott had put up something about this and already exposed it.
I'll give it a 98% chance that is a balloon and not a colorful UFO.
In regards to their gimbal,
So to me, that's misleading people. He should say, yes, this has been debunked as 100% proof of balloon. He's meant to be a balloon expert, as you've stated, and he's not a balloon expert. This is what annoys me.
After the fact that, oh yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
This was after the fact they already collected their money from showing the video.
Yeah. So they're recycling it again from 2 years ago, right? And they'll say that I'm a hoaxer debunker because they said it was 98% possibly a balloon. Well, instead of saying 100% it's proven as a balloon, which should have been the statement made on this video to his fans. And now they're talking about UFOs can be colourful, and but we've got no evidence. We've got nothing on camera of such a thing, of a colourful UFO. Even multiple witnesses never ever talk about them having colourful patterns on there. As far as I know, there's not only been any UFO cases, apart from Carlo Diaz, which I have debunked him. As using a type of lampshade glass that's been blown by someone in the city that's come forward saying that he made the lampshade and put in the orange dyes to make the UFO model for him to put a light inside. So that's been debunked. That's the only one though that's been what they call light craft, light UFOs, right? He was a faker, a hoaxer. He used a torch to send a beam of light down, right? So all of it's been debunked. You know, he made up all these different claims that here it is near a tree, but the tree didn't match his video. It had to be like a miniature version of the tree. He must have clipped it so it looked the same. Did a Billy Meyer basically. But anyway, that's the only one I can think of with a colourful skin. Everything else has been misidentified or debunked, if it's been the case. So that's all I've got on that one. But yeah. But he goes on and talks about it being the colours being hydrogen. Did I actually play that much? I'm not sure if I did. Why is it not playing now? Was that the video? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Why is it not playing now? Yeah, I only got a certain way on it. No, it's got to be a snapshot. Let's close it down again. Is that the video? Or a snapshot? Yeah. Oh no, here's the video. Did I play it all?
and as we look at
look
it
at
very
that.
close, this balloon comes in very close proximity to the airplane itself, almost a
Jesus.
collision, a near miss. But it's interesting how people could easily mistake these craft at this altitude as some kind of UFO, as these pilots are claiming they've had encounters with. But in this case, we've found the smoking gun, in my opinion, of what the gimbal possibly is, as they say.
And that's total garbage, right?
The military knows what it is. That's why it was released.
You
They
know,
do not release any UFO stuff at all.
Just like how this approached the plane. Well, actually, the plane was moving faster than the balloon. The plane was actually approaching the balloon. Could you imagine a fighter jet approaching one of these balloons and being mistaken as a tic-tac? It's just nonsense. And of course, if you put a thermal on that balloon, it's not going to look the same as what they've seen on their targeting scopes. So for Blake Cousins to come out with that disinformation and put this seed in their minds, to me, just proves that they've not got lots of content coming in the email that they can put up instead. Recycling an old balloon video and claiming it looks a bit like a balloon or a gimbal is just more noise that we don't want in the system, and it's totally wrong, and it can be debunked because it's not going to look like that on thermal.
Clutter, airborne trash. Well, that's the statements coming out of the DoD. Do we believe them? Well, in this case...
Okay, so that heart-shaped balloon is the only one I know so far that they've released. It has been a balloon. And, of course, it wasn't on their targeting scopes at all. That one that was snapped through a pilot's window with a smartphone. So, yeah. Obviously, it didn't show up on radar because it's a balloon. And the microwave would have just passed through it and not bounced back, you know. It probably would have bounced back, but it wouldn't have been defined enough. It would have been like noise in the background. And also, it was very small, obviously. You know, it's not like a 50-foot craft that they were passing. It was just like a typical Milo balloon. But that's the only one I can think of that is a bit of suspect. And I think the government released it as disinformation. You know, after the gimbal ones, they released that through Corebow, was it? That one? Which is, you know, all Corebows have been like disinformation. You know, the bokeh one, or bokeh, or whatever it's called. Yeah, everything he's put out has been disinformation. And easy debunked. But yeah, he's going to go on here and say the colours represent elements on a UFO skin, which is totally nonsense. Or someone puts in a comment and he says, yeah, you could be right.
These leaked Navy photos that's been out for 5 years has left us nowhere in the field of ufology. The people, the public is where the information's at, and now we get a good, clear look at airborne track.
Part-time Pete. He's asking a very good question. I'm a little bit blurry here for some reason. That hasn't happened. Oh, it's because of the smoke. There we go.
This is technical
he says,
person.
or suggests and theorizes the colors may correspond to what flavor or what atmosphere they can work in, which shows the colors in our spectrum.
So then he goes on and talks about them being oxygen, nitrogen, and all that. Unfortunately, you can only do certain size clips on Twitter. But that, to me, that's just disinformation. There's no proof of that at all. And it's just another theory of noise in the system. So, yeah, I just needed to recover that one. And also, we'll see if we can find that other balloon one before we move on. How long we got? We got another hour.
I love how he talks all big, like he wants to find out the real stuff and this and that. And nobody's got evidence and this and that. Yeah. It's like people have evidence, you just don't want to research it. I found tons of evidence of the one I captured all over the world. I have all the videos. Yeah. Nobody wants to look into it. It's the same thing all over the world.
Looks like we got.
It's been, and then I've had people say, "Oh, that's Starlink and this and that." I've found videos of that same object recorded the day before Starlink launch. It's like, try again. But
yeah, hang on. We got
someone
spamming the side chats, and I have to deal with it now. Unfortunately. I thought Google had that sorted out, but it doesn't look like it. Yeah, so where were the real comments? Sort of lost track now. Wild Dreams. Can you buy your own weather balloons? Check it out. You can buy your own weather balloons. Yes, you can. You can buy them off eBay and Amazon even. They start off as 7 foot, and as they go higher in altitude, they grow to 32 feet. They can reach an altitude of 115,000 feet, which I believe is way past airplane level, right? That's why a lot of pilots see these balloons. And then it pops, and then it comes roaring downwards. And it's got a GPS tracker on it, and they normally go and pick up the debris or whatever, hopefully anyway. What else we got? If there's any comments that you want directed at me, just highlight it and put my tag in. Go at symbol and type the th, and it will come up as a pick list, and you just click on it and just type your message. That way I'll see it amongst the spam and other chat. But anyway, let's move on. So we're trying to find that very old footage that they recycle probably 3 times now, or 4 times. What's happening there? Oh, there's ads coming up on Twitter now. Yeah. Let's see. Switzerland. We'll try Switzerland first as a keyword, because I know that's where it was.
Oh, the snow's driving me nuts.
Switzerland. Let's see if I can spell it right. UFO of interest, and hit search on that. Let's see what we get. Okay, so we got one here which is in Switzerland. Let's see what else comes up.
Now that one looks like a balloon.
Yeah. Here's that one there, I think. Channel third phase continues to fall there. That's back in 2019. Audience published a video. Something big happened over Europe. In Switzerland, this object is just a handy hot air balloon. A misrepresentation. Okay, so has he got the video for it? So you can see the basket underneath, right? Let's see, he's got a video here by the looks of it. Let's just see if we can play it. Let's see if we see it launched. Looks like it's an emanation there. Let's click on that then. Let's see if it's the one I'm after first, because there are a lot of these ones. That's been going over the years, right? So here's the one that's been filled up. And a balloon advertising. My gross. Well, that's a fairly big bottle. Handy. So that looked like green on the video, but that one's definitely a bright orange. And there's a high diff of it. But if people saw that miles away, they'd be going, huh? What's that? It's amazing what humans can design and build and fly in. So there's one of them anyway. I'm pretty sure there's a green one as well. So there must be another video. So that's when the light's starting to go down, which is probably where the UFO frauds take their clip from. They ain't going to have a really high definition one, are they? They're going to take something like that. Oh, what's this? A UFO person filmed. Okay, so let's keep on looking. Did I muck up there? Let's see if there's any other ones. I don't think that's the one I was after though.
I think I know which one you were looking for.
Yeah.
You were looking for the gray one with the red thing on the bottom.
Yeah, no. Let's try balloon. We'll try hot air balloon. We'll try hot air. Let's see what comes up with that one. Or was it hot air joined together? I don't know. Okay, we haven't got that one again. Oh, here's another one. Mr. Peanut. Okay, is that one of them here? Let me just have a look. This one I think looked like a flying house or something. Oh, here we go. Remember this one on Secureteam? It's on being recorded from a tram. It's a hot air balloon, of course. And those lights could even be used as a fake UFO, couldn't they? So they're the cable lights they have in Europe across streets, buildings. You can't see the cable on that one there, you know.
Yeah.
You get the right lighting and the poor quality video. You could fool a lot of people.
Don't give them any ideas.
Don't give them any ideas. Yeah. Okay, that one goes on a wee bit, doesn't it? How much we got of it? Does he add on the end what it actually is? We've got the lights again going across. Looks like a fun tram ride anyway down the centre of the road.
It's slow.
Slow, but yeah, if you're a tourist, that's probably what you want though, to film the buildings or whatever. Alleged cigar-shaped UFO fallen into Indonesia waters. Okay, here's one here. Here's the same hot air balloon taken with a potato can. Alright, the forklift one, that's what it was. Remember the forklift balloon? Yeah, look at that one. Tyler, that's what it was being filmed on that previous video we were looking at. So once you get a high definition video, as you can see how small the basket is. It's good advertising.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's meant to be the same balloon. It's meant to be the same balloon, but I'm just trying to see how it fits. I can see the two forks out the front.
Sorry guys, I'm getting over the stupid cold there.
Yeah. What else we got? Cigar UFO.
Oh my god, it's
is that the one? But he's saying it's that handy balloon. It looks green there, not orange. But yeah, you want the video of that one. We want the video of that one here.
I've never seen that one.
Yeah. So that's what I
Oh,
think the other one that we were debunking the other day was. But poor quality video, of course.
it's
Fancy
hard to
having a
make
full...
it out at all.
Oh, there's another one of those ilama balloons. Look at how crazy that one is. It's a biological UFO, guys. The colours on it, what does it mean? Oh, it means that's the atmosphere. It can actually survive in... What a load of cobblers.
And it's pissed.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it's from
Yeah.
that movie Nope, right? Nope. But anyway.
Yeah. It's going to eat us all.
I was hoping to find the video of it, but can't seem to pin it for some reason. But anyway, it's out there. It's just a matter of finding it. That's all. I know I've put it on past lives anyway. But yeah, let's move on to Secureteam now. Else we might run out of time otherwise. Yeah, I think Gabba might be a bit upset with me, maybe, because of the word.
What'd you do?
I see if he wants to come on. You there? He might be on Cambion's show though. Been good show.
Well, we're lucky over here. We get 3 days of snow.
Yeah, well, it's nice and hot over here at the moment. 30 degrees Celsius yesterday. So I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's getting up there. Yeah. Says he's online, but because I asked him if he comes on again, don't swear or use any bad words because it gets me in trouble. And yeah, I just found it really funny that he wasn't even listening to me. I kept telling him not to use that word, and it's like defiant. You know, sometimes I just wonder if people are trying to sabotage me, you know. But I don't think he is, but I'm just saying that he was just talking about himself. But yeah, I didn't really want to spend an hour trying to use Google software to try and mute it out, because it's a pain in the ass. And of course then I'll lose the side chat too, you know. But anyway, let's go on to Secureteam's latest and we'll break it down. It's kind of sad though. So here we go. Sad for me because I just think it's nonsense, and he purposely ignored all the scientists on the comment of the Reddit post, and he's getting most of his content now from Reddit, so he doesn't have to ask permission. Okay, so you can see straight away it's the same theme as his cousin Nocturnal News about moon bases and moon anomalies. You can't tell me those two are not sharing content amongst each other. In fact, I even wonder if Tyler actually makes his own videos and Nocturnal News is getting paid to do it for him, and he just does the voiceover. So he's looking at grainy NASA footage again, which is really boring. Consider he's got all that high-spec camera gear where he probably could capture some amazing stuff on his own camera, and he'd show people how he debunks it. So you're like, oh, that's just a plane. It turned out to be a plane. So that would be really useful for ufology, but it's a lot more work, as you know, because our live streams go on for ages talking about this stuff, and he doesn't want to put in the time. He just wants to make a 10-minute video, spend a couple hours on it, and put it up and make $1,000, you know, and people just get suckered in. So he's putting up all random clips there as an intro, which he doesn't talk about. So I'm not even sure what they're saying there, because that's typical CB type audio, and someone's putting up stuff on the screen, which is really hard to read unless you're full screen. Hardly worth mentioning. Alright, so let's just go back and see what he's trying to make here. It's taken out of context, of course. Well, let's see. We had visitors again. Okay, so I'm not even sure what NASA video that was taken from, whether we can prove it was a fake or not, because it's quite easy to do that, make fakes. Well, let's see, we had visitors again. So you might be talking, this is meant to be a NASA film clip, but it's so poor quality, it doesn't look like NASA. To me, it looks like it's fabricated. But we do know it's taken out contents, and they're probably here saying that the command module passed overhead, right? Because it's orbiting above them. So we just had the visitor again. Could this mean the command module? Hardly worth mentioning. You know, if you're seeing a UFO, you're not going to say, oh, it's hardly worth mentioning. Agree. No, if you saw a UFO on the moon, they probably would have even sworn on CB saying, holy F, did you see that? What's that hovering over there? You know, they wouldn't just say, oh, it's hardly worth mentioning.
I mean, when I see something, I'll say something right away, but usually I lose any speech whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I'll say, oh my God, you know, what's that? And then I can't talk after that. I'm just in awe of what I'm looking at.
Okay.
It's like
it's good that you actually talk what you're seeing, because the camera, as you know, doesn't pick up what you're seeing. So if you're saying, oh, what's that? Oh, look, it's transparent. I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up, blah, blah, blah. That's how you should actually talk to your camera when you're looking, because the eyewitness, the eyes can see better than the camera technology at the moment. But anyway, moving on. We're just getting past that noise.
I came across some pretty awesome...
Okay, so he's saying he come across it. It'd be funny if someone outs him and says, no, I come across it and send it to him. But he's claiming he's come across it.
Epic and mysterious footage, to say the least, of a couple unidentified objects that were captured on a guy's telescope flying past our sun. Unlike the many images and videos you guys have probably seen of, say, the International Space Station passing by the...
For starters, what he's showing here is obviously someone's got a much more high quality setup than this guy that's obviously an amateur and not even using the apps. This is clearly International Space Station. You can see it is by the shape of it, H shape.
Sun, it's very distinct and it's very large when it passes by the sun. It really stands out.
Okay, you got some sunspots here.
However, this person who posted... posted this footage to Reddit correctly concludes that the UFOs we are seeing here are much, much further out than the International Space Station or anything we have in orbit. These things are much closer to the sun, and they are extremely...
And considering the guy doesn't use any tracking software for satellites and all that, which if you're a backyard astronomer with a homemade telescope, that's the, you got to use the apps to discount planes moving in front of your telescope as well as satellites, and because we probably don't know where all the meteorites are going, right? Because we know meteorite showers happen, and fragments break off all the time and stuff, and burn up in the atmosphere, but that we can't track.
Extremely well focused, giving further.
So this guy's filming this in his backyard, and that's actually the sun behind it, and he's talking about this little tiny speck of circle being a UFO. Now, if that suddenly stopped and changed directions or shot off vertically, then we could say, yeah, that's an alien craft, right? Or we could say it's abnormal. Especially if it simply stopped and hovered, But you can see this is just transiting the sun interface here, just like the International Space Station does.
Validity to the fact that whatever these are, they are so far away, it almost feels like...
Also, you can see the video's been modified because the guys put arrows on there. So that distracts from it straight away. He's sort of suggesting there's another object that comes down here.
Like they're flying and hovering directly above the sun's surface. So the gentleman...
Okay, there's a little smaller speck here, and you can see it's not finely defined and in focus.
Posted this. He has a telescope along with...
And that could easily be a bird changing directions there, right? In fact, when you slow it down and have a look at it, it looks like it's got some wing flapping.
A filter on it so he can get up close shots and video footage of the sun's surface, and he is zoomed way in here, and you guys are probably already seeing one of the objects. He says,
well, most of the time it could be balloon, plane, birds, bats, but in this case the guy makes claims that he's using a hydrogen filter, so that only lets through certain light. So most of the invisible light is missing. So what you can film is shadows and dark objects that are blocking out some of the light of the sun as it passes in front, and not something that's actually in the Earth's atmosphere. So this object definitely is in space, but I don't think it's near the sun. It's most likely a satellite that's above the International Space Station, or possibly a planet like Mercury, which has been suggested in the Reddit feed itself. Some experts do reply to Reddit posts, and they do have telescopes themselves, and they do use tracking software, and they say they film same objects that are doing a trajectory across the sun, not do anything special, that matches up with their software being mostly satellites and sometimes planets. So
quote,
just keep on playing
follow
it.
the arrows. You will see something that is very unusual. This object
Okay, so you can see a sunspot here and how small this object
is so high up in the air that it is biologically impossible for
Yeah, this one's very hard to see.
humans to see it in the daylight without some physical aid.
Okay, now he's darkened it and made more artifacts, right? You can see he's made everything thicker. But you can see, if you look carefully at that one,
Such as a telescope and
you need to repeat it over and over again.
I use a very powerful telescope to
Okay, now he's got a red circle, same as GABA-Cs use, and we'll just step it. And you can see it doesn't look like a circle. It sort of has a triangle shape to it, but it's also disappearing, which means that this has got to be closer in the atmosphere, that one, not near the sun, because it's a bird. It looks like a bird. It's looked like it's flapping its wings there downwards, going upwards again, and in case we lose it because the body mass of the bird is less because the wings are now parallel to us, and then it shows up again against this background of the sun. Now what that is, it's obviously blocking out the light. You know, it's because they've filtered the light, doesn't mean it's filtered out all the light of the sun, so it's got to be illuminating that in the atmosphere, right? And we got some obviously artifacts there with the filtering that adds a little white blob to it, and video compression, and we're down to pixel level again, and we got atmospherics that's passing through as well, remember, and of course that changes the light reflection. So yeah, so I'm calling bullshit on this video. I'm saying the first object is not a UFO but a satellite, possibly Mercury as some suggested. I did forward it on to Mick West to see if he wanted to investigate it. I don't know if he did or not. He hasn't replied if he has.
In the wavelength of the hydrogen alpha, the first unidentified object with...
So the hydrogen alpha blocks out most of the light from the sun, so you can film it without blowing up your sensor and your camera, basically.
which catches your attention is the ball.
So that looks like it is in focus, and it looks like it's in space, and
or sphere. No idea what it is.
Without tracking software, we can't really say what it is. And you can see here it goes to the Reddit, but it doesn't actually show you all the experts on that Reddit post, but I've actually got a link to it.
Very finely. Now he goes on to say that there's a second object, a second UFO, which can be detected near the highlighted arrows, and he says
and it's out of focus,
insanely far. As this loops over here, we'll first focus on the main UFO, and both of these UFOs, they're extremely finely focused. If this were...
No, that's a lie. That's a lie. The second one's not focused.
Say, maybe you think it's a satellite, or the ISS, or a plane passing by, or a Chinese drone, or space junk, or airborne trash.
Okay, so apparently this is part of a... Yeah, this here, where the blackness is, I think he says in the post that it's actually part of a tree branch in the way. So the sun must be close to a tree that he's trying to film when he caught the object, right?
As the government
in the
calls
daytime.
It would be extremely blurry.
And I think that there could be one of the branches that's sort of out of focus and in the way, right? And
in fact, at this zoom,
right, and the edge of the tree again, is it?
Literally.
So it doesn't.
Either way,
it doesn't look.
Crap anyway.
It looks like Bruce sees all kind of nonsense, really. But anyway, we'll just carry
orbiting
on.
right above part of the sun.
Like I say,
if a jumbo jet were to pass
too far
by,
away to figure out what it is.
You wouldn't even see it. So the fact that this gentleman is zoomed so close and so...
So he's trolling the Reddit post, and he thought, oh, I'll just knock up an episode and call it a UFO. Without any research, without actually reading the other posts, or he obviously did, but he didn't care that it's... So he's a faker, he's a shill, he's a disinformation agent, and people suck it up, right?
So deep and far into the sun's surface, and is able to catch these UFOs, and them being in such fine detail, you know, not just some vague blob. These...
Anyway, well, let's just skim through the comments, once we get past this one.
As far as telescopic footage goes and zooming and right up to the surface of the sun, these objects to me would have to be directly above the surface because they are in focus. I've done countless videos on...
He's done countless UFOs, but he hasn't gone outside and done countless his own videos and analysed them, or got other experts that are analysts. Never used any tracking software. So yeah, he's trying to claim that he's the expert, and I'm exposing him as not.
On UFOs and what I firmly believe are alien vehicles
Okay, so now he's putting up all these artifacts that we've covered many times now of the Soho sensor, which range from a piece of lint that floats in front of the sensor from time to time, radiation lines like this, planets that are overexposed because of vertical smearing, because it uses a CCD camera. And he's claiming these are like cigar UFOs, and of course some of them are just planets, and even meteorites that are passing by. You know, one of them we looked at was actually when they were doing that crash test, right? And we know there's a bunch of
cigars aren't by the sun. I was going to say the cigars aren't by the sun; they're hovering over Earth.
Yeah, but this one here, if he's claiming this is a cigar mothership, it's going to be probably 10 times the size of Earth, right? It's ridiculous. You got to remember, even that single little dot, if that was close to the sun, would have to be massive, right? And it's moving quite fast, as you can see.
rolling through our solar system and using our sun.
But of course we don't know if it's been time-lapsed. I think I read in the comment that it had been time-lapsed and it's sped up, so you got to watch out for that too. So again, we got radiation,
like they would use any star
noise
as their fuel source, use the sun's energy.
Okay, so we got that one there. Again, it could be just that comet that was given off a tower, right? And looks like it's got some debris. Yeah, it looks like debris breaking off a meteorite as it's passing the sun, right? Looks like it comes from behind the sun. Yeah, I think that might be one of those comets that breaks off debris that goes around the Earth and it sends it our way, right? It does it every year.
The most insanely abundant energy in the universe, and
so now we get pareidolia artifacts of, you know, holes in the radiation cloud that the sun creates, you know, and claiming it is actually a shadow of a V-shaped craft or whatever.
Charge its batteries. So we see that.
Charge the batteries.
Or it was a footprint. Oh my god!
Charge the batteries. Yeah, but we haven't got any substance that can get so close to the sun that it can strip energy off its corona cloud without it being dissolved. So yeah, it's a good theory. But yeah, I think you'd have to have like magnetic shielding, so it sort of goes around it like the Earth. That's how you would that would show up though. You'd see that it would be shielded somehow, and it wouldn't be like a triangle. It would be like a circle shape, right?
This object going left to right, and the other object, which is even.
So if that's really close to the sun, as Tyler's claiming, that would have to be probably the size of the Earth, right?
Further out than this first one, and at first I couldn't detect it. But I'll zoom in here and show you, and we'll slow.
But some experts said on that Reddit post that it could be the shadow of Mercury falling down onto the sun's surface. I'm not too sure on that, because I think you could see a planet, because like you saw the bird. It's creating blocking off some of the sun light to get into the telescope.
Slow this down, but another object can be seen moving in a different direction.
So he's repeating. Let's just keep on moving. We'll move on to the next one, and then we'll cover both of them.
Alright, UFOs.
He's still going. I'll just skim it. There we go. So he's on to these other fakes that we've talked about in the past. which you got these little triangle shapes, what it looks like because of low res quality, right? And the pile of rocks inside a crater.
And satellite pics for alien structures, UFO.
So I'm not too sure if he's saying that thing in the center is meant to be a UFO, or the triangle shape itself is meant to be a TR3, or the whole thing's meant to be a craft. I don't know. But most likely it's a deformed crater, you know, and low res, and it looks like it's blocked it. But you can actually see the back of it. It's actually got a circular pattern to it. It's got a pile of rocks on one edge here where it's casting a shadow down. And it's got a bright rocks everywhere in that image, like there. So it just looks like an overexposed picture of some of that moon dust that reflects light back. Where it's got a chunk of rocks in the middle. And it's probably got various rocks around it too. Like there, you can see there's a pile of rocks, a little circular one. And it looks like a pile of rocks on the corner there. So, yeah, it looks like a crater within a crater with little tiny other craters going around it, which deformed the circle a wee bit. That's what it is, you know. But anyway, just carry on. There's probably a higher res version of that one as well.
Things out of place.
Now, this one's been repeated so much by Secureteam. He knows it's been debunked with a high res image of it, where it's just, again, a crater on the rim. With a pile of rocks in the middle and shadow play, and it kind of looks like it's a little chimney. And it's actually looks like, you know, this is the thing with pareidolia, where it looks three-dimensional, where it's actually sunken in, and it's got all this bright moon dust rock that splatters around the crater edge when it hits.
That look like they were constructed. And so
Yeah, Scott Brando again. I think we've looked at it before in the past. You could probably search that one there as well.
Come on now, Paul. You know that's a satellite dish.
Well, or a space cannon is the other thing. Space cannon. That's to shoot the Russians coming down. Or the Americans, maybe. Let's see, cannon, chimney, dish. I'm not sure what to use. Cannon, moon, I guess. Maybe probably have to use the right keywords again. Probably UFO of interest. That's the problem with Twitter, because people limit what they put in a comment. Makes it less searchable. Hopefully Elon will fix that. Cannon. Let's see what comes up. No, that didn't come up. Okay. Dish, maybe. Okay. What are we going to call it? Moon. Let's try Secureteam. Moon, maybe. Let's see what comes up for that one. Ah, bingo. There's one of them anyway. So what was that one? Alright. A pile of rocks in the middle of a crater looks like a TR3B. What's this one here? Same crater, high res. Of course it isn't any pyramid. Yeah, let's just have a look at that one. Okay, so we got the same crater, and we can't see any triangle. So obviously it's low res and shadow play again, right? Makes a difference, and of course that's what's going to happen today. So it looks like we haven't got too many hits here, have we? No. I haven't got too many hits on that one. Okay, moon artifact. Okay, got some hits for that one. Only one though. Okay. What else are we going to call it? Dish. I think I tried that before. Let's try... what else? Cannon. Nuclear thing, was it? Nuclear power plant? Chimney or something? Chimney, maybe? Did he spell it nuke? Let's see. Nuke? No. Nuclear. Here we go. Haimi Mizan. That's not the one. No. Okay, let's try chimney or tower. Let's try tower. Gotta get it eventually. Here we go. Large explosion. What's that one? Okay. It's not actually a video. Ancient spire on the moon. Could it be that one? Oh, here we go. Secureteam. Oh no, that's the radar dish one, isn't it? Again, it's a crater on the edge with some debris and shadow play. So yeah, could it be that one? Let's have a look. Okay, so that's the antenna, isn't it? The antenna one. And here's the actual high-res image. You can see a little crater on the edge that sort of deformed it slightly instead of a nice circle. And you can see all that white moon dust that's sort of blowing it downwards, and a streak of debris that's rolled down to the center of the other crater, right? Little impact that's rolled down. And that forms what they call the antenna, but it was after the actual space cannon. But it's exactly the same as what he's putting up in the current episode anyway, exactly thing. I thought it was cannon though. I really did think it, or cooling stack. Stack, maybe? Cooling stack? No. What word did you use? Cooling. No. That's what I would have called it. I would have called it a nuclear cooling stack. If you go back and have a look, kind of looks like the chimneys you get from nuclear power plants, right? Nuke Power Plant. If you type that in, we'll see some images, and they always have these cooling stacks because that's how it works, right? The nuclear radiation rods heat up the water to boiling point, creates a lot of steam, and creates turbines, and they just vent it off at the top here. And then they keep putting new cool water around the rods as they heat up and melt down, you see. So it kind of looks like one of these, doesn't it? Looks like they've got a nuclear power plant on the moon. But the high-res actually does show it. Let's see, moon, UFO, let's see if we can find it. Is that the one? Probably too many words now. Power plant, just reduce it then. Power plant. It's not coming up. Nuclear. We'll just type nuclear in, and I'm pretty sure that's what it was called though. Nuclear smoke stack or something, cooling stack. It's pretty old now. It keeps recycling it, so the older stuff gets a bit harder to find on Google. Is that the one?
Recycle, reuse.
Recycle for years, yeah. Because there's always new people joining. Yeah, it's new people joining all the time, you see. and joining the UFO community, so there's more people to shill to make money from. Unfortunately, I can't seem to find it. Moon crater. There's some good examples of moon craters.
Semi truck rolled in the ditch.
Yeah, just can't.
Too good.
Can't seem to pin that one at the moment, unfortunately. But just a matter of using the right keywords, of course. You know. Yeah, I know Scott has got it. Let's just type in Secureteam and just do it the hard way. Okay, blimp. Past hoaxes he's done. CGI TR3B did. And the cube one, Photoshop. And the shoe one on a telephone power line that he modified in Photoshop. Okay, was that the one? Oh no, that was the pile of rocks in the middle.
I might need your help, Paul, to review a video. Like, just watch the whole thing and see if you can find this object that I saw.
Right.
See if the object showed up in the camera. I don't know if you have like 4 hours that you can burn, but I can't find it.
Right. So here's the example of Secureteam using Photoshop from 2012, before I started my channel. He added in fake UFOs, right? He's deleted them off his channel now, but he did a lot of episodes like this. Yeah, if you want me to look at any footage, anyone can join our Discord group and post it into UFO vetting, or if you've got your own personal thread set up, like 18 Wheels, just post it in there and put a little comment there that you'd like me to have a look at it, and I will do so. But yeah, this is another one that he did Photoshop Secureteam of the what I call what's that guy from Star Wars, the bounty hunter, Bo Fett. Looks like a Bo Fett thing. Remember, they were fans of Star Wars, right? They used a lot of toys in their fake videos, as we pointed out. To me, it looked like a pencil sharpener from one angle, but yeah, now I can see it's the Bo Fett spacecraft. And yeah, he got lots of subs out of that one through the UK rags, of course. Okay, what have we got here? Another hoax.
That must be why people are calling my triangle something from Star Trek.
Yeah. Okay, so not too many images coming up. There's a lot of chat about Secureteam, but it's funny, none of the images come up that we're after. Let's try Moon. It's kind of annoying that it's really hard to find stuff. I'm not sure if it's got worse since Elon's taken it over or what, but we should have found it by now.
The invasion has begun.
What's that one? Invasion. Hoaxes. Artifacts. Google Moon artifacts. So there's giant alien structure. We'll find it. A chunk of rocks in the middle of a crater again. That was CGI Moon. That one, Tyler played that one. I think he's still got it up too. He hasn't taken it down. See, that's another dishonesty thing. If you know it's CGI that you've put up, then you delete it. And you do an update video saying, "Oh, that one, I'm just letting you know, was a fake." But he's never done anything like that. I mean, hoax debunked. Just keep on
Is he still making
going.
money on the ad revenue if somebody watches it?
Yeah, and this one here, someone was filming out a car window, and they were getting reflections, you know, as the sun was coming up.
Yeah.
And they time lapsed it, right? But anyway, won't spend much more time on it. If we don't find it now, we're moving on.
Move along.
I know it's pretty old. It's been circulating for years, so has Twitter archived it. But I know Scott put a side by side of a new high-res image of it, and like the other one. I'm not sure if he did it or someone else did it, but he put it up. It didn't come up, so that's very strange. I can't explain that then. Why we couldn't find it. But believe me, guys, it's just like the other one.
Yo, 18 wheels.
What's up?
Gabba alert. Just to make sure, no swearing or no bad words, okay?
No party pooper.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I can't even talk about my nose. It's my nose.
No, you're not allowed to talk about talk about your Roman nose, because that's insulting Italians. Okay.
I'm Greek, not Italian.
Yeah, I know that. Why is
the
it not?
Italians copied the Greeks. The Romans copied the Greeks. You know.
Why is it not switching? That doesn't make any sense. Why it's not switching?
How you been, Wheels?
Say, guys.
How you been, my friend? How you been, Wheels? How you been, mate?
Just sick as a dog, man.
What, did you get
Sick.
COVID or something?
Oh, what happened there? Oh, hang on, guys. Looks like we got some sort of ad pop up, is it? What happened there? I've been sabotaged. Okay, let me just reopen that. Looks like they've added some ads to it, have they? There we go.
We go from like 30 degrees Celsius to 140 degrees Celsius.
You guys got cut off, by the way. Seems like there's some sort of ad click on this Jitsi now, so if you click it, it opens up in the same tab and destroys the live chat.
Oh my lord.
Yeah. Well, how come I can't get it to switch to your mic though? That should be switching.
They changed Jitsu now.
Yeah, I can't understand what's going on there though. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
What happens if I do that?
Because he's a smooth operator. Smooth operator.
18 will say something.
Coast to coast, wheels back from Chicago.
Hey, Gabba, shut up. 18 Wheels, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, it's not switching to you for some reason. Oh, it doesn't matter.
You guys hear my coughs?
Yeah, I don't understand why it's doing that. Anyway, we're talking about this one here on Tyler's.
You hear me?
We tried to find the debunk for it with a high-res image of this being like another crater on the rim with some debris in the middle. And they're saying it's a nuclear power plant, or Tyler is, but just carry
was
on.
going through photo after photo, and this is really time-consuming work.
Didn't we
Scanning every crater,
debunk that already?
scanning the image, zooming in.
Yeah.
I came to this photo you're seeing here, and this photograph was actually snapped by one of the astronauts inside of the orbiter during the Apollo 10 mission.
Look how bad this image is, alright? You can see how pixelated and blurry and overexposed it is.
In this particular photo, they were orbiting the moon, snapping high-res...
Look how he's calling that high res. Yeah, high res for 1969.
shots, but on the back side, the side of the moon that we never see.
So that's going to be high res. I suppose it's more high res than you can get from Earth with a P1000 maybe. So that's the back side of...
P1000's more high res. That's high res.
That's made with multiple images, you'd think, wouldn't you?
That's the back. If that's the back side of the moon, where's the bottom part? How come they blocked out the bottom part?
It's in shadow, that's why you can't see it. Because the sun's coming this way, right? So the other side, it's only half a moon lit up.
See, this photo was snapped of a crater almost dead center of the...
That's where the Dark Fleet Nazi base. That's where the Dark Fleet Nazi base is, right on the bottom, the swastika base, and they blocked it out because the shadow of the moon. NASA is dodgy.
So we're not too sure if it's one snap or it's multiple stitched together images at this stage.
Backside of the moon. And so I'm scanning through it, not thinking I'll find anything, and then suddenly something catches my eye.
Oh, he found something you can talk about.
And after looking at it and looking at it some more and then coming back to it, as you guys are going to see here, whatever is sitting inside this crater, it is not natural.
We got some spam bots again in the comments. Let me just deal with it. Reports. What we're talking about? Child abuse, pornography. Yeah, that's the one. Reports. Yeah, now we got rid of that one. What's happened? Can't seem to scroll up anymore. There's always sorts of problems going on. It looks like something's happened to my highlighter now. Hang on, let me just reload that. Yeah, I've got a technical problem here. Let me see if it comes right again.
Trained by you now?
Yeah, I think it's working now. Okay. When I told it to get rid of that porn site, it stuffed up the highlighter program for some reason. Yeah. It's still screwed up. Yeah. It should be back, I think. Hi, yes. Back to the moon thing here. What's he trying to say about it?
Not natural.
It's man-made.
Okay, so he spotted this pareidolia on a rim of a crater, claiming it is a alien beacon. 18 wells. That noise, that strange noise, is getting louder on my headset.
Sorry about that. How's that? Better?
Yeah, that's better.
A little bit?
Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay, and we'll just carry on.
I'm trying to hypnotize you.
He's got the music, you know, it sends you off into dreamland of UFOs.
Well,
and his
if
voice.
the moon is hollow, the moon is
His-
hollow and artificial, and it's been made. Obviously, there would be buildings on it somewhere. Question is, which ones are pareidolia and which ones are actual little buildings and
There's no proof that it's hollow, though. There's possibly...
There is proof that it's hollow. They rang like a bell when they dropped the NASA
Yeah,
dropped the rocket
but
boosters on it.
But that same thing would happen.
The Chinese moon rover measured the rock, and the rock is only 35 miles thick.
Yeah.
And then it's hollow inside. They measured it with
No,
radar.
no, it may be liquid water. Actually, that's what they think now. Because that would make it ring for a longer period, right? It would go, you know, back and forth in the water. Ding, 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 ding.
We're talking theories again now.
No, so there's no proof it's hollow.
We're talking theories again now.
But they're saying that there
like
could be, you know, meteorite impacts, just like there's water in the Earth's core, just above the Earth's core. Remember that they did sonographs. Remember the article I brought up, and where they actually reckon there's an ocean of water actually under the surface of the Earth. Well, the same thing would be on the moon. Yeah, from all those meteorite impacts of ice over millions of years when it was forming. It makes sense that there'd be frozen ice under the moon's surface, but also possibly liquid, because we know as the centre heats up, you know, from movement, from squashing and pulling off the gravity, it creates a fiery core in the middle. So yeah, it could be liquid from thermal energy.
We don't even know what gravity is. So like, I look at stuff. I look at all the theories of space, and like, I don't believe it, because theories get disproven 10 years, 20 years later when new physics. New physics laws get like thrown out the window because
but we know the effects of we don't know what gravity is. We don't know gravity is.
Everything.
Yeah, but we don't know what gravity is, but we know the effects of gravity, right?
We know the effects of it, but we don't know what it is. We don't know what dark matter is. We don't know what dark energy is.
But we know that the moon gravity pull affects our tides and all that sort of business. So there is real science there. That's provable, but until we drill the moon.
You look at the moon. You look at the moon. The moon. When it goes in front of the sun, it's the perfect size to block the sun for a total eclipse. Not a little bit too big. Not
those
a little
damn
bit too
alien
small.
engineers. They made it too perfect.
How could the moon mathematically be the perfect size to block the sun? Like, that doesn't make any mathematical sense to me.
It doesn't actually block the sun completely, though, because you get the corona around it, don't you? Maybe they thought of humans. Those humans are going to be looking up at the moon, and let's give them something to watch. We'll just put the moon in the right place here. We'll just attach some anchors and pull it out to the right orbit.
There's something dodgy going on in NASA.
Hashtag dodgy.
Well, Mother Nature does some crazy things, but
Mother Nature doesn't make
it is unusual.
moons
I do agree,
sizes.
but
the moon never moves. The moon never moves. It's locked in orbit.
No, it's spinning all the time. We just don't see it because it's always in synchronized to the Earth's movement. So we only
That's
see
what they
ones.
say. It's synchronized. It's locked into orbit.
That's why that's because it's called gravity lock. That's why.
Gravity lock.
Yeah.
But they don't know what gravity is. How can they call it a gravity lock if they don't know what gravity is? You know what I'm saying?
That's what they're calling it, though.
Yeah, but NASA makes excuses for everything.
As the Earth spins, it affects the spin of the moon, and it's synchronized. But anyway,
Mr. Bean, I reckon Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean would make better scientific excuses than NASA.
Get two magnets, and if you move one magnet, the other magnet will move as well. That's basically what's you explain it to as gravity. As the Earth spins like a magnet.
That's magnetism. That's magnetism.
Yeah. But again,
gravity has like magnetic properties, but like we still don't know magnetism property, plasma and magnetism, and there's all these things in science that are like They're like amazing. We don't know nothing about them.
Yeah,
we know very little about them.
Yeah,
How to control them, how to
we're getting
manipulate them.
sidetracked on a totally different theory there.
It's because NASA lied to us too much. It's making us sidetracked again.
Oh
NASA's
no, not
lies.
NASA lying, the bastards.
Tyler said so. Tyler told us.
Put a red circle around it.
Yeah, Tyler put a red circle around it. His videos are beautiful. Red
Anyway,
arrow, red circle.
let's finish off on his alleged alien beacon. Anyway,
I'm killing wheels
This
here.
thing looks like a tower or a
He's down to
vehicle or a
17 wheels. He
satellite.
hasn't got 18 wheels anymore. He's down to 17 wheels.
shush, shush, shush. Okay, we're trying to finish off this video because I'm gonna have to go soon. Okay, so we got alien beacon on the moon. That's what he's claiming. So to me, that looks like a small crater on the edge of the rim here, and it's got some of that same white moon dust. It looks like it's exploded downwards inside the crater from this other crater there. So it looks like a bright chunk of rock there, and it just looks like low res pareidolia again.
Light dish or a base, and
He actually
I've already
debunks
done
his
the
own
research.
video
This is
claim
not
here, and he
debris
slips
from
up.
any satellite or Apollo.
He starts to show you other Apollo mission
Yeah, but
images of the same crater, and he slips up and he actually shows you there's actually a crater on the rim.
mission rocket boosters.
that doesn't
there
matter,
are
though.
no.
If you believe
So
his
that-
BS,
Yeah, like he's found out the name of the crater from the other photograph, right? Somehow. And again, we've got the same crater there, but we can't actually see the edge of it on that one. Looks like it could be on the other side in this case.
Crashes
But anyway,
within or near this crater on the backside of the moon, which you can see in.
yeah. So now he's put up some other images here that sort of exposes what he's saying. So I think he's looking at this one here. He's not actually pointing it out with his mouse pointer, is he? Or putting a circle around it. Oh, there's the alien artifact, and here's the crater. But to me, it looks like it could be that on the crater rim here. There, over there. But we'll get a better image of it.
Google Moon if you jump on there. The photo of the crater in question is called Panakek, and Panakek is an impact crater that's located on the far side of the moon, and it cannot be seen directly.
Yeah, so now he's got a better image of it, and it's less overexposed. To me, is he looking at this crater? Because that's what he's got zeroed in on. So there is a little crater right on the rim here. So if you filmed it rotated from another angle on lower res with the wrong exposure settings, it's going to be like this here with the sun hitting the edge this way. You can see the shadow is there. So the sun's hitting the edge of this crater here and creating a shadow and lighting up the other side like this one here. So that's in shadow, that's being lit up, but it's the wrong orientation. So he hasn't even rotated it around, proven that it's the same crater
from Earth. The crater lies on the northern rim of the slightly larger Dellinger crater, sharing a common border of jagged terrain, and you can look this up on Wikipedia.
See, he's not really explaining it. Is he talking about that one there, perhaps? I'm just trying to suss it out. Is that one?
Border of jagged terrain, and you
that
can
one
look this
there. Which again, it looks like there's something on the edge of that rim there. But if we go back to the other picture again, whereabouts was it? It was here somewhere. I think I got a still of it anyway. Here we go. I got side by side. So is he talking about this one? Is this one here? If that's the case, we've got a pile of rocks there. Let's just open it up. And we got, looks like a pile of rocks there. So if he's talking about that, I don't know. Or is he talking about the whole thing? And where that looks like it could be that's casting the shadow. But that's the high res vision. So let's have a look. Could it be this one over here? Could even be that one over there. And it's got something on the edge of the rim here, like a pile of rocks, which looks very similar to this one. Or is he talking about one of these down right next to this one? These ones down here. Again, that one looks like it's got a pile of rocks on it, if that's the case.
No red circle. No red circle. Doesn't specify.
He hasn't put red circle to say that's the same crater, has he? And
no, bad video, really bad video. It's badly done.
Yeah, it's really badly done. You know, he should have had like side by side like I got here and said, oh, there it goes down here, you know. So let's have a look at this.
And two red arrows. A red arrow, this crater is that crater, or the red circle, this crater is that crater. Something.
So it could be this one down here. Got this one down here. It could be even. Again, you can see this. There's an impact crater right on the rim there, and it's got all that whiteness there as well. So it could easily be that one down here next to this big crater. And you can see there's lots of little.
He ran out of arrows.
Well, it could be this one. It could be this one up here too. That one looks like it's got something on the edge of the crater too.
They're too small. They're too small. It's one of those.
But you can see a lot of these craters do have a little impact crater right on the rim, with a pile of rocks running down inside it. You know, and to me, his video is just pure garbage again. And speculation of pareidolia.
Of the crater in question is called Panakek, and Panakek is an impact crater that's located on the far side of the moon, and it cannot be seen directly from Earth. The crater lies on the northern rim of the slightly larger Dellinger crater, sharing a common border of jagged terrain. And you can look this up on Wikipedia. There are no crash sites anywhere near this crater. There are no landings of probes, whether it be from us or abroad. This is what I found sitting in this crater. You guys tell me what you think.
It needs to pan out slowly so we can see where it is.
And yeah, I'm totally perplexed. This thing, if it's not man-made...
Pilot's perplexed. You heard it from the man himself. Look at that. That's the crater there. Look, the red arrows.
Yeah.
Is that the red arrow? What are those? What did he drew? He drew diamonds. He drew diamonds.
Hello. I suppose you just come from Cambian's show, is it? I think he's probably got one going at the same time, but he was talking about Mandela effect. Didn't quite interest me, so I thought I'd do my own show. People got the choice then to join me or join him. Watching from Los Alamos National Laboratory Office of Chemical Physics. Okay.
Mandela effect.
Show us a selfie of that location then. No, someone posted underneath him. Metal how are you all? Okay, yep, you too, mate. We're sort of wrapping up here. We only got probably 20 minutes or so left. But anyway, we're just going over Tyler's latest nonsense, which looks like pareidolia of a little crater with debris and shadow play. But anyway, let's see what happens. I think it pans out at the end.
It's made by something, and it's on the backside of the moon, damn near in the center, right where all of these astronauts and former NASA employees have secretly been talking about for the past 50 years. Put your comments down below, hit that subscribe button, like this.
Yeah, so there it is there. Okay, there it is. So what's he going to do? He's going to play the that little tinkly music, which is like mocking music of NASA.
This video and share it, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
It's annoying.
Yeah, I kind of see that as a piss take music myself. Hey, you gullibles, you got suckered again. Okay, so where's he panning out to? So is this the crater that he... See, look, it's definitely a small crater. Yeah, it's a little small one.
Oh, nonsense.
So there you go. There's giving us a clue. It's a little circle I was pointing to on the edge of this one. See how he panned out there? There's that one with the two eyes, as I call it, and the white hair. And there's the two eyes and the white hair. So it's one of the craters, depending which orientation we're looking at here. So what orientation are we looking at? So it looks like that one is near the white stuff. So that one looks like that one's there. So I'm just trying to flip it in my head here. So if that's that direction and his beacon was right next to the edge, so it's got to be up the top. So it's somewhere up the top of this image. And it looks like it could be that one there. Looks like it's got some debris or impact crater on the edge. I think that's it, guys. I think, oh no, this one here. That one's got a little speck of debris on the edge of it there. Look, it's got to be that one. It's that one there, next to this big one. And he purposely didn't put a circle around it, you know. But yeah, it's garbage, isn't it? So that there is.
That's half the fun. You get to pay him and try to search for it.
That one there with a high quality image, right? And it's saying it's an alien beacon with no evidence. And it's just a pile of rocks or crater. You can see that there's no really high definition off down to that small one on that image there. We can zoom in and you can see how blurry it's getting now. But yeah, that looks like it there, doesn't it? It looks like that little crater there. But anyway, we've finished his video, and I'll post the link. I'll post the link to those images so you can have a look. Have a blessed night, you too. Okay, thanks for dropping by. Selfies are not possible while working.
See you, Valiant Thor. Nice name.
Yeah.
I like the name.
He's working on the black budget. Okay, black budget. Good on you. We believe you. Yeah, so there's that image. I think we debunked it as shadow playing a pile of rocks on the rim again. And this one here, going back to Reddit. I gave it to Mick West. I said, what do you think of this one? I found the Reddit post, so I gave it to him. What was the next one? Alright, this is one of the comments I saw in his videos. I snapped it just in case it disappears. Of course, you missed that one, Gabba, but you can see this guy looks like he filmed stuff in the sky himself and has explained it. So let's just zoom in a wee bit here. Once you focus to infinity with a telescope, you have everything in focus from outside the atmosphere, i.e. International Space Station and further away, with other satellites or meteorites, all the way to the sun and the stars. That's why when the International Space Station is transiting the sun, both are in perfect focus. And Hydrogen Alpha telescope is a specialized telescope filter out all the visible light except for a tiny part of the visible spectrum where hydrogen emits light. Okay, that's why I was telling you that it creates a dark shadow when the object passes in front of the sun, which is most much brighter than the light that hydrogen produces on the surface of the sun. A solar filter for a typical telescope simply dims down all the starlight without filtering out any regions of the spectrum, so the light of hydrogen disappears when it is compared to the brightness of all the other colors of the visible spectrum where the sun emits light. But I disagree. I digress. All the other colors of the visual spectrums where the sun emits light. What's he mean there? Disappears. But I compared. But I disagree. The first. Digress. Disagree. The first thing I did when I seen round objects like these passing with a similar speed in front of the moon through a telescope was to go to an app. I keep telling people to use apps in front of the moon, and I'd see from my coordinates every time that it happened it was a satellite. This doesn't mean that in the present footage would be 100% a satellite, but we would need the coordinates, yes, and the exact time of when the footage was taken, was captured, to be able to cross-check it. And someone said, "You're talking too much sciencey." No such word, by the way, when we want you to talk all ufology. But anyway, I sort of snapped that one, because that guy seems to know what he's talking about. But if you go to the Reddit post, which I'll open up here, Tyler purposely misled people by not showing you all the people that had brains and other telescopes that actually were talking about it. So here's the Reddit post that he took it from.
I saw 2 UFOs this morning, sky watching.
Don't you start. Satellites, not UFOs.
No, satellites don't disappear. Satellites don't disappear.
Yeah, they do. When they change
no, they
angle.
Don't.
They do. They change angle to the sun. And
I saw this. No. This one was pulsing. It was bigger than the biggest, brightest star. It was brighter than Sirius, brighter than Sirius, and it was flashing. And I saw it while I was changing the batteries from an infrared camera. I'm like, oh, that's nice. You show up
that
when I'm changing the batteries. That
sounds like a iridium satellite flashing. A flasher.
How can an iridium satellite flash brighter than the brightest star and pulsing? And the pulsing is in perfect timing. It goes...
Yeah.
Not like a flare that just burns irregularly. This has a timing to the pulse.
You got to remember, some of them spin and they're reflecting the sunlight. Of course, that can be brighter than a star.
There's no way. I understand that, and I looked at it, and I actually think, could that be sun reflecting off a satellite? And then I see how bright the flash is. I go, that's an artificial light. It's actually
Did you have the app running at the same time?
I was changing the batteries for the infrared. I didn't even film it. I just.
You saw it with your eyes.
It flew for 5 seconds. It flashed twice, straight above me, and then it disappeared. I'm like, where did it go? Why did it disappear for?
What color was the light?
White.
White?
And it was bigger and brighter than the biggest, brightest star, Sirius. The light was just like massive. And I'm like, whoa, look how big and bright that is. Like, I understand how satellites can reflect light, but like, but when you see a light that pulses bigger and brighter than a star, you're like, there's no way that's light reflecting off the sun. It's impossible. From a little tiny little satellite the size of a microwave.
Anyway, we're not talking about your Satan. We're talking about this case to try and wrap it up before I go to dinner, right? But anyway, the guys posted some information here about the focal length. But yeah, he hasn't used any of the picture of the hydrogen filter using higher resolution gift link original raw video image, so he's even provided that. So it looks like he's asking people, you know, for what they think it is. So he hasn't said it's a UFO himself. And then people answered it. So the second object, some of them said it was a bird like I did, and the other ones said it looks like a satellite like they've seen on their cameras, and others have said it's also Mercury. So if you go through here, these comments weren't even shown by Tyler, but this one here is saying it's an Intelsat or similar satellites. It could be literally anything, not really, but yeah, just carry on. Just like a satellite passing, correct. The universe is like an ocean. Or maybe you're just extrapolating so far out that it's just pure speculation. These guys are getting really desperate. Yeah, it does sort of show Tyler's getting desperate if he's putting up this footage without even asking the guy, probably.
I did email him back and I said I'm not sharing my footage with him anymore.
Did he fix it? I forgot to look.
I don't know if he fixed it.
He hasn't fixed it. He's a scumbag, isn't he?
Yeah. It's alright, he won't get any more real footage on this channel.
No.
Between me and Gabber, I don't know who else is actually physically recording outside.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find all the links where people are making serious comments instead of...
It's like I'm recording right now. The camera's set up in the truck.
Alright. If this is tedious and frustrating, I understand. Could you flip black and white in this? Well, you can do that in the editor. There's a slight change in trajectory in the beginning. Well, I didn't see that. But it could be atmospherics, right? It bends the light. I feel like 90% of the comments are talking about the ball moving left to right and not actually point out the interest moving from top to bottom. Well, that was a bird. This guy's saying it's Mercury here. You can't download it to see it any closer. It is a satellite or space station, nothing more. It does not make any moves. I don't believe it's a space station, it's way too small to be that. Anything like our speed. Satellite, yes, is high on the list. So that's Mercury in transit, someone said. Look at the arrows, said OP, you don't follow instructions. Shadow of Mercury against the sun. Footage is highly sped up. This is the second person saying it's Mercury. It's actually not sped up at all. My camera is recording at 140 frames per second and playback is 30. So that is sped up then, isn't it? Oh no, it's slowed down. That would be slow motion. So that would be a really fast moving satellite then in that case. But I'd say some do move that fast. We know the International Space Station is moving at 18,000 miles per hour, right? So the satellites in bigger orbits are going to be spinning at even greater speeds. Of course, we're only assuming it's beyond the space station. It could actually be lower orbit too. So yeah, I need someone to plug in all the information and actually plot it on a satellite tracker software, because that's what the guy's missing. So I'll post a link to the Reddit there, because Tyler didn't add it to his description. And was a Reddit warp UFO, most likely a satellite, because it's not doing anything that a crazy UFO would do, right? It's not stopping, changing directions, or moving downwards suddenly. Then that would give us a pause, not to call it a satellite.
That would give us pause, but what happens when a UFO flies in really slowly in one direction for 2 hours? You're never going to get a direction change. Not all UFOs change direction. Some would be flying long distances. You could be just doing something. But it's a good indicator when a UFO changes direction that it's not those other celestial objects, you know?
Yeah, but if it's moving in a straight line, normally it would be heading towards another planet or moon, and it would actually be getting slowly smaller and smaller, right?
What if it's doing genetic experiments on Earth? It's going to the next house to do a genetic experiment.
But if it's doing an experiment, then it would be getting bigger and bigger because it's moving towards Earth, right? To come down and land. You know what I mean? But anyway, for now, without the other information of the coordinates, because people have asked them for it in this Reddit post, I just didn't quite see it, but they're there somewhere. We can't do much with it. Maybe Mick might take it up and we can do an update on it in the future. But claiming it as a UFO, not even asking any.
When the sun comes up? What's the last star that stays visible in the sky? Sirius?
Venus.
That's a planet.
But on some of the stars, there's cluster galaxies that are so far away they look like stars.
I don't know, because I filmed it. I saw a light in the sky this morning, and I filmed it for like half an hour. I filmed it for so long. I filmed it in 4K. I filmed it in 120 frames, high speed per second. I filmed it with blue filter. I filmed it with green filter. I took photos of it. It was the only light in the sky. And I'm just like, there's no planet there. There's no star. Sirius is in there. I'm trying to figure this out looking at the video. Like, all the stars were gone. The sun was coming up. The sky was blue. And this was the only light in the sky. It was just odd. Really, really odd.
Yeah, I don't know. Couldn't it be a plane? No?
No, it's moving too slow. It's very far away.
Yeah, but if it's moving towards you, it looks like it's hovering. And
not
it's
for
catching
half
the
an
sun.
hour. It doesn't take half an hour.
Yeah, for half an hour. A plane could be moving towards you for half an hour from a long distance away. With the sun reflecting off it, right?
The planes fly over in like 5 minutes. They go that fast. The plane couldn't go that slow.
Yeah, but if it's like 200 kilometers away and you're zoomed on your 100 point...
There was no FAA flashing lights on it.
You get 120 times zoom on your camera, don't you? 120...
I filmed it with infrared, then I ran inside, grabbed the P1000, and I put the 120 times zoom on the P1000 Nikon on it. So, like, if with the P1000, like with the infrared, maybe, but you would see the FAA warning lights. Then with the P1000, I've zoomed right up on it and like.
Checking again.
I'm looking at it now.
How about just a salad again?
I
don't want bread. I don't think. Yeah.
I don't know. I can share the screen if you want to look at it. It's weird.
Yeah, another 10 minutes.
When I saw the train coming towards my direction, it was like an orange. It looked like an orange ball until it got closer. And the color of it changed. It's that gray.
So this is whatever. Yeah, this is like an orangey yellow color, but the sun's coming up. So I'm like, it could be a white light with sunlight reflecting off it. you know, reflecting off the light.
Yeah.
Like, looking at the,
Yeah, looks like you need like a locked off camera, like I keep telling you. So when you other cameras down, at least you got some other video of it.
I filmed it with 2 cameras, both cameras.
Yeah, but you said the batteries ran out and you changed batteries. So.
I'm talking about the other UFO. This is the next one. There's 2. Right. I said 2 UFOs. This is the second UFO.
Alright, so having a read of these comments under this crappy video of us anyway, you can see how gullible these teens to 20-something-year-olds are. Mr. So Smithy, been following your channel for at least over 5 years now, and have never seen, never commented. But today I wanted to say that you're easily my favorite UFO channel because he feeds into your worldview belief. Hands down, no question. Your incredible hard work, which I might add, it looks like really similar to Nocturnal News's work, and he's just done a voiceover. Passion and time committed is shown in every video and does not go unnoticed. I think I can speak for myself. Yeah, how old you are? I wish they had ages in brackets next to it. So this Huff Paranormal guy is actually from New Zealand, and I talked to Gavin about it last night, and you can see how I tried to comment to him. I went to his channel, right? I said, hey mate, you do realise he's not telling you the truth. And my comment wouldn't show. In fact, it simply got deleted. So I went to his channel there, and he's obviously a paranormal researcher, right? And he's put up various episodes. So there you can see he's a young guy.
My cats are paranormal researchers compared to these guys.
Yeah. Well, if they can't research that Tyler is a hoaxer, then I wouldn't even trust anything these guys had to say about it. So I went to this one
how can
here.
How can they be a researcher if they don't look at all the different possibilities? They only look at the paranormal possibilities.
So
no, they do not know that both of those 2 guys are related.
Oh, this ball of light I filmed looks so weird. I'm doing inversions on it, and it doesn't even look like a star. It looks so weird.
Oh,
it's probably a soccer field.
Hey, one of my comments actually showed up. So I see, but that one actually vanished and it's showing up today, so that's kind of weird. So I said here, with my other second account, which is the fake news one, yo, New Zealander. So someone that blocks the truth, I see. Shameful Kiwi. He hasn't replied to it. So I actually post about Tyler and said have a look at my my home tab about him, and that comment vanished, right? There should be no reason why that should vanish, unless he's got some blocks on. So yeah, that's about the only way you can get through to these people, right? So it's one way to get through to people, to comment on their videos that way, because Tyler blocks me as well, because he doesn't want the truth about him being known. Despite that he come out and admitted that he hoaxes stuff on Alien Addicts show, and he admitted it to Gabba in a comment, and he admitted it to me in a comment, and we got copies of it. And he admitted it to Lions Ground Astro Citizen. And the video is only up on his channel, or was, I'm not sure if it's still there, and never put up on Tyler's channel, because a lot of his followers would go into shock. They would have to be rushed into hospital and get injections and stuff, because they wouldn't be able to take it, that Tyler's actually a hoaxer. I just watched, wanted to say, Tyler, I've been a sub of yours for 10 years, and he still hasn't done any research on Tyler, and he's a paranormal investigator. Despite your unfortunate health circumstances, which we believe is over-exaggerated if he had them, a while back, thank you for keeping on. I never left, and I never will. So even though he knows he's a faker, he will never leave a fraud's channel. To me, that's a mental disorder there, right? Much love from New Zealand. Rock on. Insomnia team. Okay, so here we go. Tyler had answer to it. Thanks, friend. Yeah, my health is good. It's been about 2 years since my pancreas failed, and it seems to be working fine. Fingers crossed. So to me, that suggests that maybe his pancreas thing was a bit of a stunt, because from what I read up on the pancreas, once you start taking drugs to help replace some of its functions, you only get like 5 years to live, and you will die eventually without the pancreas. You can't live without a pancreas. And I believe they cut off some of it, didn't they? And they gave him drugs, which to me means that pancreas is only working at a fraction of its capabilities, if that's the case. Seems to be working fine all of a sudden. So he's a miracle curer. You should do a documentary about how he got a miracle curer. Secureteam, hide paranormal. Holy shit, you replied. Oh, my king UFO channel has replied to this humble servant. I'm so effing sorry, but I'm kind of fanboying out right now. I rock a Secureteam t-shirt and cap. So he's a consumer of Secureteam. He's really addicted to Secureteam. And someone else, hey Tyler, I've been following you for about 9 years. I've been a big fan of your work since then. Oh, and if you ever get a chance to go out around 1 or 2 in the morning at night and just look up, you can spot things flying across the sky. He'll never get outside at 1 or 2 in the morning with his camera when he can just put up a 10-minute crap video about NASA and make stupid claims and make $1,000 of it. Why would he want to go outside and film in the cold or whatever, you know? Same here, man. Glad you're doing better. There meant many more across the ditch in Oz.
This UFO is not. This UFO is not a star. It's like a ball of light. It's so bright, and it's like the light is spinning around it.
You're still talking about your video. You have to leave that for another day, mate. Put it in Discord first, and then we go from there.
I gotta see that thing.
So you can see that they're like a little mini cult, these people, and they just suck it up, and they don't even question what he puts up, right? They got no critical thinking or science information. But apart from that one comment, I did find out the first hundreds that I took a copy of, where he said he's tracked it with software, and it's always turned out to be a satellite. Awesome video, Tyler. Thank you, Tyler. Tyler does deserve some type of formal acknowledgement for his work in the field of unidentified flying objects. Yeah, the #1 fraud, and Blake Cousins can get #2 award for being a hoaxer and a fraudster. This is a genius concept to zoom in these images. Props to the time and energy this took. What 5 minutes in Photoshop? Once again, you have blown me away with more excellent moon structures. And I've been subbed since the beginning of your channel. Another one that doesn't know how to do any background research of people they're following. Thanks for your hard work and dedication, Tyler. Absolutely love your channel, Tyler. Keep up the great work. Great shilling, and make sure you keep paying. So glad to see you back again. It's all the same crap. Tyler, have you heard or seen pictures of supposed 11-mile tall tower on the backside of the moon? John Lear spoke of the existence of it. Yeah, that was just wasn't that just the ink block on the negative that I've talked about many times? Well, every video I watch of yours, and I've seen nearly all of them. It's so interesting, well researched and well presented. Thank you, Nocturnal News, for making that video for Tyler. Well made presentation as always. Remarkable clips, bro. The dude who took the images of the sun really knows what he's doing. If he knows what he's doing, he would have used some damn apps, tracking software. This really annoys me. Anyway, I got to go for dinner, guys. I got ding dong and shouting going on. Getting cold, getting cold. Yeah, I'm used to cold dinners. Okay, let's leave it there. But you can read all those comments if you want to. I just discuss with me. I can't say how much disgusted I am off that. But another video by Shill. But yeah, we'll have to start looking at some of those MUFON cases sometime too. I'm just going to drop these guys off because I've got a dash now, unfortunately. We could talk about other stuff, but we'll leave it for another day. I'm not sure when the next one's going to happen. I still meant to roll out my sky watching stuff too. So yeah, good night all, and just roll the credits. I've got to get going. Yeah, so hopefully people enjoyed what we did today and learnt something. But yeah, always question everything, guys, because not everyone
especially anything NASA says, always question it.
Yeah, question everything. Yes, I know, Mum. I don't care if it's cold. Okay. Anyway, dropping you off, and we got rid of that water sound. Making me want to go to the toilet. But anyway, I'm just going to disappear too. Bing! If it'll go. And just roll off the credits. And hopefully we didn't upset anyone tonight apart from Tyler and Tyler fans. But who cares? Here we go. Good night all. Take care on the roads. Do like and share, and I won't try and sell you a t-shirt or nag about super chats. Because it's never about that stuff, it's always about the topic first. The money is icing on the cake if you want to help, because I need a better computer and need to fund the channel for another year, and that's going to be tricky. But anyway, we must have done a few hours today because we started a bit earlier, didn't we? Oh, maybe not. 4 hours, coming up to 5 hours. It's all good. I'll end it there. And I'll put chapters in after I've eaten dinner.